Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Alta Call MAFS. I'm your host, Tane, here to talk about Love is Blind Season 9. This is the USA. I feel like I have to clarify because we have so many floating around the ether on Netflix. And this is Batch 2, Episodes 7, 8, and 9. Here with me to cover these Fever Dream episodes is Brian from Mass Virgin. Hi, Brian. How are you?
I feel judgmental mostly because I didn't like the Canadian accent that Nick did. As an Upper Midwesterner, mine is way better than that. I'm not going to do it now, but if it's appropriate, I'll do it later on. But no, it was slanderous.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if I remember him doing it,
It's
but
it's when she found his hockey stuff and he tried to do a Canadian accent. I'm like,
uh
no, that's not. You're just saying a. You're not. Your vowels aren't right. It was a whole problem.
How are we feeling about this new batch of episodes?
Episode 7 I thought was great. Episode 9 I thought was great. I was on my phone a lot during episode 8 because then shit happened. But I'm into it. I have a lot to say about a lot of people. But no, I thought episode 7 was masterful. I My jaw was open a lot for a lot of these dumbass fights they were having.
I have consumed so much TV content that I don't know what was in 7, 8, or 9. As far as I'm concerned, there was just one big old episode that I was watching and taking notes on. But before we dive in, reminding you guys as usual, patreon.com/AltaCallMAFS. New episodes up for the challenge where we had a big old idiot this week. So I did not hesitate to call him an idiot many, many times, and I am not apologetic about it. And also a new episode of Sister Wives, the new season. 8 is back to cover episode 1 and 2 with me. And on the regular feed, we have new couples therapy, a King's Court ready to love. Love is Blind Friends reunion is up. Sorry, it was late, technical difficulties, but it's up. It's up now. Okay. Interviews are happening with Love is Blind USA. I don't like that. I don't
No.
like it. I don't want it. I know some of them are not in the pods anymore, but it's too much. Like, we're still trying to make sense of what we're watching. Then we have to
Mhm.
keep up with what they're saying. And it's right, like official outlets. It's like People Magazine, not like just podcasts.
Yeah.
And it's like what are they filming now? The Anne Hathaway movie with
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but I've seen the extras. Like,
yeah.
when they
We've
have to act normal
basically
around her.
seen the whole plot
Mhm.
of the movie, and it's like, why is nothing a mystery anymore? The Devil Wears Prada, I don't know why I would forget that,
There you go.
but it's like, why are we seeing all of that with just the mystery of it? Like, I don't mind if they do interviews, but can we wait till after they're done so like we have enough space to comprehend everything? So a bunch of them are talking. I think Patrick had an interview saying that Casey never got in contact with him afterwards, and I really want to be like,
Surprise.
duh, like you're the
Yeah.
only one that didn't know that she didn't want to be with you. Casey's out there blaming editing and saying it wasn't the way. We're not stupid. We
No.
saw what we saw. And then of course they're on the Nick Vial because Nick Vial gets everybody, and they're doing
Everybody.
that too. And Anna explains how she couldn't do that to her parents. Her account is private now, and she's, writing all these things. Their trolls are going on there. She said it was filmed almost 2 years ago. I don't know.
Sheesh.
And it must suck to relive the whole thing when you've moved on um,
Right?
with your life. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like that there are interviews because I'm still here. I'm here
Mhm.
in what they're showing us, and we have to go back. But I was watching the recap before the episodes came, and a few things that Edmund definitely knew that KB wanted to wait till marriage because when he shares with the guys that he hasn't had sex, Jordan was like, "Oh yeah, that's right, because she's waiting for marriage, right?" So everyone knew.
Yep.
So I don't know
Not a
where you're
mystery.
coming with a nice guy. And Brian, we did not mention the whole conversation around pegging. Not like it needed to be mentioned, but I was aghast again with the whole pool party. Just
I mean, what can be said?
what can
You
we
know,
say?
just watch that episode of Broad City. They cover all of it. They talk about. I mean, there's a whole Broad City episode that is exclusively about pegging. It'll answer any questions you have.
And the final thing I think that bothered me about this new batch of episodes, we need more confessionals. I mentioned that in the last one, and I thought, okay, maybe it was situational, but it looks like it's a thing. The
Mhm.
editing is wonky. This is why we have confessionals or flyaways or whatever they call it, so you can guide us into what they're thinking, where you're listen, tell me what to think. It's a lot. Like if we're
right?
not gonna
Lead
get
me.
week by week episodes, tell me. And we just need more confessionals. And we're gonna talk about the places where I felt like it would have been useful for that.
Mhm.
And the last thing is a question for you. What do you think about people on Married at First Sight who didn't make it, who want a second chance going on Love is Blind?
Oh God. I think if you auditioned for maths and weren't selected, then I'm fine with you going on Love is Blind. Because clearly you want to be married to somebody, you're open to, at least you consider yourself open to marrying anybody that's a good fit for you. If you're somebody who went on maths, made it to decision day, said no or were said no to, you're done. You're one and done. We've seen it happen. Something didn't work, and I have always had what I call my no recycling policy, which means if I was in a relationship with somebody and we broke up, there was a reason why. We don't need to try it again. There's lots of other people that are out there. I'm not going back to you. I don't want you coming back to me. We tried it once. It didn't work. Same thing applies here.
They're not come back to the same person. And I actually specifically mean people who said no, or yeah, that it
Mm.
didn't work out. Not just people who auditioned. Like, let's say from Denver, like if Emily went there, if
Oh
Lauren went
God.
there, if Claire went there. Well, Claire's engaged, but hypothetically, I'm just throwing out names because it's the same city. So if they
Yeah.
have identical cities that they have, why not? Did you ever watch Second Chances? I mean, it didn't work
No,
out, but
I, I'm aware of it, but did not watch it.
okay. I mean, they did it. It was Vanessa and Dave, but
Yeah.
I just thought about it. I was like, what if they actually get a chance? I mean, I feel like most of them will not do that again. Reality TV
Yeah.
seems to scar people, but it was just a thought.
Well, and I think my hang up is you have to disclose it then. And then so much of your time in the pods is talking about maths and what didn't work there and what you're looking for. Because you can't let's say you are Paige from Paige and Chris. Ain't no way you could come on here and not talk about, yeah, so I was on a show, I married a dude. He had a baby mama on the outside that I found out about at the honeymoon. He bought her a car. Like you have to talk about all this stuff, and it's going to get in the way of getting to know you because everyone's going to go, I have to know about this. If you don't talk about it, they're going to go, why the fuck didn't you tell me this?
I
Like,
mean, so you say, but they don't have to say it. We've
I
had
would be mad if you did.
instances where things were not said. Jordan didn't expose that he's tatted from head to toe. The guy, I think
No,
from season one, he didn't expose that he was bisexual. I'm not saying that
that's
they
true.
shouldn't. There are things that you
That's
should.
true.
I'm just saying, like, there are no rules to these things. Like, there are people who
That's true.
expose what they want to or not. And Jessica did not expose. Was it Jessica Sandy? I mixed them up. Did not expose that she had a kid until she was ready to.
Yeah.
So everyone has, different things they want to say. I don't think they have to because
I'm thinking about it like, okay, you brought up your kid eventually. Let's say you made it all the way to the altar. You said yes. You guys are back to having champagne. Hey, by the way, you're a stepdad now. Like, eventually, the person is
uh,
gonna find out you were on maths. Like, they're going to know because you're
oh
gonna do
yeah.
interviews and shit. Like,
Mm,
you have to tell them.
yeah, they do. But I don't I just mean outside the pods. I mean when they meet face to face, it might be easier to share that.
I
That's what some people
suppose.
shared, but
I don't know.
it's
I
all
would
hypo.
feel like you're clout chasing. And it's not fair, I'm sure, but I'd feel like, oh, you just come on TV shows, huh? That's what you do.
It's all hypo. Hey, Casey did it and still got a proposal. So,
Ugh,
you
unfortunately.
know, we should just assume that a lot of these people are here for a better future. I don't want to call it
Yeah.
cloud chasing. Let me make it classier. A better future
Clout
for
chasing.
themselves.
I said what I said.
All right, let's dive in straight with Joe and Madison. We pick up with them because we left with them last time, and she has situated herself outside while Joe is like, what the hell is going on?
This guy.
Someone left a comment on the Patreon chat that maybe cameras did not even give him a chance to recover. Like, he says, I'm going to sleep. And we think, like, oh, it's 4 hours later. And they probably showed up like 20 minutes later where he's still not recuperated. And then it looks like he's still out of it. And that's a possibility, right?
If that's the case, I blame Madison. Because like I said, if I send somebody back to the room to sleep it off because they're too drunk, I know I can't turn up in 20 minutes and check on them. Like, I'm gonna give you a couple of hours because I'm letting you sleep it off. If I go see you 20 minutes, you don't sober up in 20 minutes. That dude was obliterated. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
Well, I mean, it's still a reality show. The producer's like,
I
"Well,
know.
don't you think you should go check on him?" And
And I'd be like, no, no, I don't. I'm gonna stay here and watch Edmund be weird and lick on some toes. Like, I'm not going back to wake him up right now. I know he's still drunk, is what I would have said. Now, if she was like, cool, 20 minutes is enough, then yeah, that's on you for acting confused why he's still hammered. Like, of course he's still hammered. It's 20 minutes.
Well, Joe is like, "I'm going back to bed." And then Madison starts crying again. I gave her shit for the crying. I don't know if you see my point now because I I want to say I'm not a crier. It's just like in like stressful situations. So maybe I'm just like, "Why are you crying?" Like I don't know why she's crying, but I know some people
Yeah.
cry when
I'll tell you, I'm not an easy crier, but I'm a frequent crier. I make a point to give myself a nice cry once a month. I
Stop,
watch
Brian.
like no,
Stop. I
for
have a
real.
question. No, I have a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between an easy crier and a frequent crier? Because if you cry frequently, doesn't that mean you cry easily?
No, I will explain.
Okay.
I don't cry easily, but I make a point to have myself release my emotions and cry like once a month. So I will watch YouTube videos of like surprise adoptions where it's like, oh, I'm presenting my stepfather with adoption papers, or I'm at the graduation, they read my new last name. It's the first time my stepmom hears it, kind of like that. I that gets me going and I will cry. And I let it out so I don't wind up like Edmund, where I start crying and all of a sudden I can't speak because my whole body is like trying to get all my emotions out. What I will say is, if I'm in like a dispute with my wife or I'm stressed about something, I don't cry from that
Yeah.
because I can control my emotions. I do it on purpose. Otherwise, when it happens, I'm gonna be a complete mess. So I think she might just be somebody that cries easily in stressful situations.
Mhm.
My wife also pointed out last night, y'all, she's probably drunk as hell too. Like, she was also at that party. It's entirely possible that I have plenty of friends that when they drink, they get weepy. Like, it could just be that she's a drunk crier.
I don't think she's drunk crying. I think she's a natural crier because we have another fight coming up later on where she starts crying again. So,
She does.
and
I can't judge.
I can't remember what episode it was or what show we were covering, but A did mention, there's some people where it feels like they're weaponizing their tears, and it's a little bit manipulative because you want attention, you don't know how to use your words to say it, but then you start crying and it's like, what do you do when someone's crying? You automatically, you're the bad guy. And
Yeah.
in this case, Madison wants Joe to show her attention. Instead of just using words, she starts crying as she darts glances hoping that he hears and does something. It's like, ooh, is he looking, is he looking, wow, wow, can he hear me? Do I need to go louder? And it's like, what are you doing? Open your mouth and tell him what you want. So he's like, ugh. You hear him go, ugh, are you okay? She's like, I can't hear you over the waves. Ask her, like, he's like, okay, come over if you want some. She's like, no, I got away from you to be away from you. And she's like, why can't you come check on me? And he's like, I'm in bed. I'm like, just make this a telenovela because what is happening? Why are these people
Mhm.
so childish? Like,
Well, I think a number of things. Number one, you can't threaten to leave and not go. Like, then go. If you're gonna go, go. Don't pull the I'm gonna run away. I'm packing my suitcase. I'm opening the front door now. Go. If you're gonna go, go. Number two, I think that she summed it up pretty well where she's like, I'm embarrassed. And I think what she meant was like, how did I wind up with the dude who doesn't intuitively come and comfort me? Because that's what, like, if I hear somebody crying, I'm not gonna lay in bed and be like, hey, shut the fuck up. Like, he could have gone and said, hey man, like, put my arm around you. I don't think he was capable because I don't think he was forming any actual memories. I think as soon as it happened, it was out of his head. And every time he hears her again, he's like, what is that sound? Like, what is happening right now?
here's the thing. She's not wrong for feeling some type of way. She's not wrong for feeling embarrassed. Embarrassed that at our first night out, my husband is the one who well, they're not married, whatever he is to her
Yeah.
fiance,
This guy I
drank
know.
so much and embarrassed me. Joe is a douche for getting this drunk, for not knowing your limits as an adult who claims that you're ready to get married and start a family. But for
Mhm.
someone who's incoherent, she's expecting too much. You want him to be
Yes.
in touch with your feelings. You want him to say comforting things. You want him to understand that he's wrong. It is not going to happen.
No.
And then she wants praise. Oh, I'm sorry I took care of you. I'm sorry I brought water for you. I'm sorry. The man doesn't even know where he is. Listen,
Yeah.
base
It's
level.
she's not wrong. He cannot understand what you're saying though. Like
Yes,
you are correct to be upset about how he's behaving. He's getting aggressive with you, he's cussing at you, he's being dismissive. All of those things are correct to be upset about tomorrow cuz this
yes.
dude doesn't know his name right now. So like you can't expect him to we might as well ask him to drive a car right now. He can't do that either.
Yeah,
He's not functional.
and if your wife is correct and she also has alcohol in her system, it is not
Mhm.
productive to expect him to check on you and have a conversation that actually
No.
makes sense. So the whole thing was just, what are we doing?
Yeah,
But she
leave.
walks away, just like, oh, this is so embarrassing. It makes a whole show about packing her stuff and all that. Then she gets in the bed. I'm like, after all of that, you still got in the bed? Ugh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
shocked.
And then he's
What are
like,
you doing?
he's like, do we have any food around,
She's like,
around
"Oh,
here?
you're getting up for dinner now?" And he's like, "Yeah, I thought." Because he doesn't know where
So
he is.
he's still not picking it. I can't even vouch that if Joe is sober, he would even know what to do. So that's even that on a base level, that's there. And then she definitely wants him to know because he's not picking up on what she's putting down. And she's like, "I've been crying all night." And he's like, "Oh, why are you embarrassed again? Like, what is the problem?"
Yeah,
And
what are
then
you
Joe's
mad
like,
about?
"Okay, you know what? What do you need? What do you need from me? Because I don't want you to leave. And I just don't understand why you're so angry at me." And she's like, "I'm leaving. I'm going to another room." And Joe is like, "I have no idea what just happened. And
Yeah.
I don't know what she wanted." And then Madison leaves, but she leaves to the balcony.
She
We can
goes and
still
sits
see
in front
her.
of the door.
And then she's crying.
Go! Get out. Like if you want to be gone, then go. I don't understand like okay, you cool. You're saying you're going to go to a different room for the night. Cool. Good idea. Get away from this man. Go to a different room for the night. Let him sober up. Cuss him out in the morning if you want to. But you have to keep walking once you leave the room. You have the door open. At least close the door. Like
How
I
else would he
this
know
was so
that she was
showy.
crying?
He
She has
doesn't
to
know
know.
she's crying because he doesn't know where he is. Like all this is
Sh-
dumb.
She's not
It's
getting it
dumb.
either.
No, no.
So Madison wakes up. She says she woke up sad and she woke up in the middle of the night crying. And then Joe comes by because I guess she slept in a separate room. I think she said that also in an interview.
I'm
And then
confused because he also said he got kicked out the night before. So I don't know if she kept their room or went to I don't know, but they were separate for the night.
remember the editing is wonky. That's
Yep.
just the one thing we have to just roll with it. So Joe comes by and starts talking to her, and she mentions, the thing is, we've only known each other physically for 3 days, and I want everyone to put that on a post-it and
Three
put it in front of the
days.
mirror. It's just been 3 days. High
Everybody on this show.
expectations. Everybody has just met for 3 days, and everyone wants mind readers and all the expectations and all of the things. And I'm like, y'all, what do you think marriage is?
Right. Pump the
But
brakes. Pump the
okay.
brakes.
Well, she says she's sorry for not knowing what he needed, and then he apologizes. And these are the things that you find out when you date. First time public outing, check. Do not take your fiance out. Do not give him shots because he will
Hmm.
embarrass you. They say I love you a million times. Everyone get ready. Do not play a drinking game with this. You will be in the hospital with
Yep. Drunker than
alcohol
Joe.
poisoning because, hey, did you know that it's raining outside? I love you. Did
Yep.
you know that the plague has started? I love you. You know I love
Ah,
you, right? That's what they do all episodes long.
yeah. It's band-aids. It's band-aids.
So, I mean, it's one thing when it was Chelsea and Jimmy, that's what they always used to do, but it was one
Yeah.
couple. This is how many? 4,
It's
5?
it's it's all
It's a
it's
lot.
at least four of them.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So Joe tells her that he does want to marry her. I'm like, keep telling yourself that, Joe. Okay.
Maybe one day he'll believe it.
So then they have a group meetup. Yay, group meetups. Madison shares the fight that they had and how they move forward. And if you notice, Madison is very big on telling them that they have really good sex because she does it
Mhm.
again and she just wants to let them know we're good, we're good. And I guess it's that adage like when you're not getting what you want emotionally, so you just lean into the physical and like, okay, we're good. So
Yep.
I think that's what's happening with them. Allie is waiting for them to have a disagreement. They have not had a disagreement yet. It's coming, babe. It's coming.
It's been 3 days, dummy. Like, why don't you wait?
KB shares about the argument that they had. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. And she's
I wanted a conclusion to that. We got no conclusion. I don't know how they got out of that to like go into bed.
why would you because she was really annoyed and she was like, I'm not doing this
Yeah,
anymore. And then that's it. I said it. The editing is wonky. We have to
it's
just
weird.
roll with it.
Yeah.
So she said she's learning about herself, but she does not go into details though. She just says we have an argument. I'm like, well, okay. Then they all start talking about how they're grateful that they're facing conflict now because it would be so weird to get to the altar without conflict, which is fine.
Hmm.
But Allie's right there, who just said, we haven't had a conflict and I'm just waiting for it. And it's almost like it's the same thing with maps. You put all the groups together, even 90 Day Fiance, everyone's just trying to prove
Yep.
mine's not the worst. I'm okay. We're good.
Yeah.
We're fine. So,
It's not right. And then really, I mean, my issue with kind of this whole thing is, listen, I understand you haven't had a conflict yet. That's great.
mhm.
Madison, do not pat yourself on the back for having conflict early on because y'all didn't handle it well at all.
Nope.
You failed the test. So
Yeah.
like you had conflict and look what happened. I think I would take from this lesson, oh, we don't handle conflict very well. That's a problem. She's like, oh, got that out of the way. We're good now. And I'm like, are you? Well, stay tuned.
Yeah, you don't have a conflict just to have a conflict and check the box. You have a conflict to
Right.
see what your conflict resolution is like,
Hmm.
and then you move on from that. All right, let me take a quick break and I'll come back to talk about the guys. All right, so Jordan and the guys are like, what happened in reference to like Brendan, and Jordan is like, it's nice that it happened this, not it's nice, but like it's good that it happened this way because Nick and Annie seem to fit. Joe is sharing with them that he got kicked out, and Nick keeps pushing. What happened? Was it like a thing? What happened?
Yep.
And and Jordan shares and says like, couldn't you have phrased it lighter? And he's talking about Sparkly Megan because they had
Hmm.
that thing where she's like, you're annoying me. So Jordan's a little bothered by the fact that she didn't like, hey, you could have done this, like be soft. It's just like she was too abrasive. But I don't know, did he share that with her? We don't know. We
We don't
didn't
know. No
see them
idea.
talk about it. This is the first time we're hearing about it. And like her just saying you're fucking annoying me was too much for him. So I don't know.
That
That's
would
it.
hurt me too, but I mean, I think I would also say, yeah, I'm probably being annoying. Also, she's been drinking too. Like it's I don't know anybody's tolerance here. But if Joe could get to the point that like a bomb hit him, any of these people could be to the point that they're not really minding their tongue the way that they would otherwise. So maybe
Hmm.
ordinarily she'd be softer, but she's been drinking, you're bothering her. Like, this is how it goes.
Once again, something tells me Sparkling Megan would just say that,
Probably.
regardless of alcohol. This is not still Megan. It is sparkly
Right.
Megan.
Right. Not
So
Dasani Megan.
nope. So they are concerned about her work schedule. Still, we're on Sparkling Megan and Jordan. And he's like, he's not the crazy, clingy person. And I'm like, is this it felt like new information. I don't know how you felt about that. Like, and I don't trust my judgment because again, we plowed through 6 episodes. I don't know if that was mentioned. But to just suddenly from nowhere hear Jordan say, I'm not so worried about that. I don't want anyone crazy or clingy. It doesn't match what I think of Jordan. So I'm like, oh, is this going to be a problem or are we just throwing that out there? I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't come really back up. So hopefully it's just him maybe reading too much into something that she said and thinking, oh, well, she wants to be around me all the time, blah, blah, blah. Because she was like, we're not really going to see each other very much with our work schedules.
Hmm.
So maybe he just kind of took that and ran with it. Or maybe
Yeah.
she said it in a way that's like, and that's a problem for me because I want to be with you all the time. We just don't have the context to understand where this came from him.
Confessional. This is
We need
where
some.
we get one. And he's like, yeah, Megan and I were talking the other day. She mentioned this. I was bothered a little bit, but it's not anything we can't work through. Give us guidance. Okay.
Yeah. And
That's
then
what
cut
it's
to
there
her
for.
saying, well, I'm worried about our work. You watch Housewives. They do this perfectly. Their confessionals are always right on time.
But honestly, even Love is Blind has been better about this before. I don't know
Hmm.
what this is about. I don't know if maybe listening to comments and things like that, there was a quick re edit and there just
Could have
wasn't
been.
time to make it like a comprehensive story or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So someone asked about Megan's living situation. Didn't she just move? Which we get a bunch of. So it seems like a bunch of people just moved to Denver, even
Yeah.
though some
Is
people
at
are
least
from
at least 2
Denver.
of them.
Mhm. So she has a place in LA and she's transitioning to Denver. And he has no choice. He has to stay in Denver because I think someone was like, "Oh, would you move to LA?" He said because Luca has a half sister. So back to what we were wondering last week, his mom is very much involved.
Yeah. Yes, she's
She is not
around. She
the
has
yeah.
it sounds like she might even have kind of primary custody because, like, yeah, we basically have like 50-50. So if it's
Yeah.
basically 50-50, that means it's not actual 50-50.
Yes, of course.
So yeah, it does sound like he might be with mom maybe 4 days a week and dad 3 or something like that.
Yeah, which is I guess what Megan should tone down the I'm gonna be his mom. I'm gonna be because
Yep.
I was just thinking, oh, his mom is not capable or
Yeah.
something. But yeah.
He got to check her on that.
Yeah. So the men have a moment where it feels like they all just realize what show they signed up for. It is not Love Island. It is not Temptation Island. Anton is like, man, we still got to meet the fam, meet the homies, all that shit. And Joe is like, oh my God, the wedding is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks? What? 3 weeks? And I'm like,
My
oh
wife was
dear.
so pissed off at that. It's like,
Oh
number
dear.
one, it's not funny. Number two, like, you know what show you're on, man. You don't get to do the what? We have to get married in 3 weeks. Like, come
He
on.
might not know. It is Joe.
Oh God, I don't like
It's
him.
Joe. He might
I
not
don't like
know.
this dude.
I mean, what else is going to tell you that someone isn't prepared? And I'm not saying like you shouldn't have anxiety. Like this whole situation is bizarre, but you're taking a leap of faith. But for you
Mhm.
to not even be aware and you're just here for vibes,
Yeah.
not good.
No.
It was
Nope.
great though because Netflix decided we're gonna play Dochi's anxiety in the background. So anxiety is
It
playing.
makes me very happy. I mean, all that was missing from this episode was something off the new Kirby album. I would have loved that too. But like, no, I stand Dochi in a way that is uncomfortable for most of my friends.
Uh, good for you, Brian.
Right? The
So
national treasure.
Ali's like, Anton is so chill that she thought he would be more outgoing, that she's not used to it. And I'm like, oh, it's a problem that he's chill, which confuses me because next we're gonna see what their conflict is that he parties too much. So okay.
Yeah.
Megan is like tired of Jordan's jokes. And he thinks that she's gonna be the one that's gonna fuck this up because she's so perfect. Ma'am, you and Nick. So KB says like she's more, and I quote, and
Mhm.
Edmund is not like that alpha male that she usually dates. So we'll see how that goes. And then that was it, honestly. They just mentioned all the problems and then we moved on.
Yep.
So after the meetup, we are back to Madison and Joe. They're talking about, okay, we're back on track. We're good. And, I love our sexy time. And I'm ready for us to be in Denver. So I don't know if that's how she talks. That's what
It's
came out of
close. No, listen, baby talk is high on my wife's list of like misophonia things that trigger her. She's like, I hate this woman, her fucking baby talk. Don't call it sexy time. You're a grown up. Just like, say what you mean in your regular voice.
But yeah, so all of them, they leave the getaway. All of them kind of meet families over FaceTime at the airport. We get like a round robin of them just saying hi and introducing their not spouses, partners, and
Yeah.
showing their rings and things like that. And Jordan does talk to his son, but respectfully, Megan is like in the background and they don't get to meet, which I think is the right
Mhm.
thing to do. And he hasn't
Yeah.
talked to his son in like I know the pods are like 10 days and the honeymoon, I don't know. So at least maybe 2 weeks, give
Yeah,
or
about
take.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So they move into their apartments. They all roll in at the same time. It's not separate. And it is the same apartments that they use for maps. It was the Central with an
Mhm.
S
That's what I
apartments
mean.
over the Union stations. They're in the apartments and they're talking about meeting families. And Joe is just like, so are you not scared? And Madison's like, "You're scaring me." All he said was, "Are you not scared?" And she's like, "You're scaring me right now." He's like, "Yeah, you don't seem to show any reservations." And she's like, "Do you want me to? Do you want me to be worried?" He's like, "No, like maybe because it'll mean you're more human." He's basically unnerved by the fact that she's so sure about it and doesn't seem to have any worries. And she's like, yeah, I have worries, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Like when you withdraw, when you shut down, I have worries. And he's like, I'm in it, but the emotional whirlpool is hard. This conversation is giving me whiplash because it's coming out of the wrong vessels. And I'll explain. Joe has a point, but it's Joe. I'm not gonna support
Yeah.
Joe because Joe's intentions don't seem pure. He doesn't
No.
seem into Madison. So, but any other normal person saying like this is a lot, like I'm so overcome by this, like yeah, I understand that, and it's like yeah, work through it. I know we always say they know what they sign up for, but much like everything, until you're in it, you only have an idea of what you think it's going to be, and I guess there's no manual for being with someone you're not attracted to. I don't care what he says. He's not attracted to Madison. He's
No,
still having
he's
sex
not.
with her, but he's not. So, yes, he has a point, but it's coming out of the wrong person's mouth that I don't know what to do with that information.
And see, my thing is, I don't even know if he really has a point, in my opinion. Like,
Oh,
because okay, I don't want if I am in this and I am looking to the future and we're gonna meet your family and your friends and this and that. The last thing I want you to do is be like, hey man, I'm really nervous for you and my family. I am real concerned how this is gonna go. I'm not even sure if we're gonna be together at the end of this. Don't tell me that shit. Like I'm also feeling that. I'm not telling you, I'm with Madison. Let's try to act like things are good instead of bringing up negative things, especially if it's stuff that we're worried about that hasn't happened yet, which we see this with basically every couple here. They are spinning out about, well, what if this goes bad? And what if this thing happens? Let's get there first. Am I
yeah.
am I worried? Am I nervous about where this is going to go? Of course I am. Why are we talking about it though? We can't change it. We can't fix it.
Hmm.
I think my thing with him, he can't speak correctly.
Yes, none of them
Yes.
can.
See, right, but to say, "Oh, this makes you more human," her reaction like, "What the? Am I a fucking robot? What are you talking about?" In the same way, he's like, "Oh, I'm not usually innocent with like a large physique." Like, would you? Can you learn English properly? Like, learn what words to say, man. Because like, I don't know. His communication style is terrible.
Both
And
of
does
them.
she? Yes. Does she jump to conclusions and spin out on things?
Yes.
Hell yeah. So
Yeah.
don't give her the ammo to do that, man.
I think you're right. He doesn't know how to express himself because I'm just remembering during AD and Clay's season, Clay also
Mhm.
was expressing like, I'm scared, I'm gonna fuck this up, I'm not good enough for you and all. And I was like, what is the point? What is she supposed to do with that? That doesn't
Right.
give her any confidence. So why are you telling her that? I'm not opposed to him sharing how he feels with Madison, but
Mhm.
now it's been okay, let's give them 4 days or 5 days. You don't
Yep.
really know each other. Phrase it in a different way. I'm in it with you. Like, oh my God, this is so like scary, but also exciting. I'm excited to see what the future holds for us. But can you believe we're doing this? We're crazy.
Mhm.
Something. Make it a little
Something.
less neurotic, and even if it's just 5 days, we don't even know Madison, but we know what how she's
Mhm.
gonna react. So
Mhm.
you can't come with your fears and lay it at her feet. You gotta keep some of it.
And you can say this in a way that is not putting the onus on her, because basically what he said is like, I'm freaked out that you're so confident about things. Instead of saying that, say, man, it's amazing that you're so confident. Like, I want to get where you're at. Can you help me to like get to where you are? Make it
Yeah.
like, ooh, you're doing a good thing by being so positive, instead of being like, man, what the fuck? Why aren't you panicking right now? Like that. Because of course she's not going to react well to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's just basically phrased wrong, and you got to know your audience. Like if
Have
you're with a
to.
straight shooter, oh, someone's like, okay, this is how you feel, blah blah, blah, but not with Madison. Like it's not, especially because she can read his vibes. Like she's all defensive, and she's like, oh my
Mhm.
god, sorry, I'm so into you. Sorry, like I can. And I'm like, okay, two different points, but
Yeah.
whatever. They can't have a conversation because Joe is not that into her and he doesn't know how to say so. Madison knows that he's just not that into her, but is so desperate to keep him and is on the defensive. And instead of just letting him create room to let him fall on his sword, she's throwing out words. Like I would
Yeah.
just be like, okay, keep talking. Like keep
Mhm.
saying, like he will destroy himself. So
Yeah.
once again, what comes, the tears come. And she's like, I feel like I have to be a negative bitch. A negative bitch. She says that like 100 times. And it's like,
Does.
I feel like I have a concussion. Get me out of this conversation. I don't want it. This is me, not Madison. This is
Yeah.
me.
It's bad. It is bad, bad. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be. Like, learn each other a little bit. Joe, learn she's neurotic in a way that if you bring up something negative, she's gonna run with it all the way. And also, Joe, help yourself. Don't smile directly in her face when she's panicking. It's
He
gonna make it worse.
he can help that. This man just
No.
keeps smiling and laughing at the wrongest inopportune
Oh,
times.
it's bad.
Madison's conclusion is that, okay, it's bothering you that I'm excited to be with you. And he's like, no, I just want to express myself and you're taking it a certain way. She brings out the ring and says, well, I guess this is on ice. And Joe's like, you know what?
Mm,
I'm not saying anything again. I'm not going to talk about it, express my feelings towards you because you act like this. And she's like, don't do that. Don't do that. And I'm like, this is akin to always bringing up divorce every time you have a conflict.
yep.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
We're on ice. We're on ice. Like it's childish. It's not productive, and you are going nowhere.
No,
So I'm not
these are
quite
fights
sure.
you have with your college girlfriend and boyfriend. Like this is shit I was doing as a sophomore in college, where we're having these dumb fights over nothing and blowing everything up. Y'all are grown.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stop arguing like this. It's not, you're not going to get anywhere. It's not productive. You're not hearing each other. All you're
Mm-hmm.
doing is making the fight bigger and bigger until somebody storms out. And like that's
Yeah.
not how you do this as a grown up.
Yeah. Um. Suddenly we see them meet up. I don't know how they made up, but he apologizes for the fight and just tells her, "Oh, I'm in it. I want to be with you." She's like, "I'm so sorry," and that's it.
Hmm.
It's like watching Love Island. They fight, the next day everybody apologizes and everything is great. They
Yep.
go over to his apartment and my one red flag is the fact that this man only has self-help books.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
So not good.
And
And she's like, "Oh, I only like self-help books too." I'm like, red flag. Read some fiction, okay?
right. And I wonder how many of these he's actually read versus like I've just purchased these books and then I don't actually read them. I don't know. But yeah,
Rich dad,
at that
rich
right.
dad, poor dad.
Don't read that book. It's terrible. What I'll say is, maybe instead of doing some self help, you should get some outside help. Talk to a therapist about what's going on, especially at 27. He's young or whatever. Like, okay, I wasn't trying to do self improvement at that age, but you could talk to somebody instead of trying to figure it out yourself because you're young and you're going through a lot of shit. It seems like.
I'm sure most of the self-help is probably like the get rich, die trying types, not
Hmm.
even like internal help. It's
Hustle culture,
just self-help to get your discipline up and make
right?
more money or some shit like that.
Ugh.
She does meet with his family. He had a lot of family come over, and this is the
Mhm.
one part that I could be wrong, but it felt genuine. Like it goes so well that I think he was overcome by emotion and reminded of why he quotation marks fell in love with her, because I think I said it in our first batch, like sometimes you want to see how your partner behaves in the social setting, and then
Yep.
when you see your partner crushing it and you're like, you know what, I can take them anywhere, like it's just great and you feel so good about it. And I think that's what happened, is like she integrated herself so well with the family that he was like, huh, I might have something, maybe I should stop being a douche. But it's
Yeah.
temporary. It's like
It's not gonna last.
getting drunk. It's a temporary
Yeah.
high. It's not
Yeah.
it's not gonna last. So that's all I had for them. I'm going to talk about the Pod Squad meetup way later, but these are the highlights from Joe and Madison. Anything else you got?
No, that's about it.
Okay. We'll take a break and come back for Annie and Nick. Yay. And we're back. All right. My highlight is they're just chilling and they're just talking, and it's like, oh my, you really a dad like me? And her dad is like, I hope you can find someone manly enough to be with you.
It's a weird thing for your dad to say, man.
Nick made a face like, huh? Okay, I'm just
Oh,
gonna come with my tool belt. I'm like, yeah, that makes you a man.
you
Okay.
gotta buy a tool belt first, man.
So they're talking about living arrangements and how it will be nice and different for them, because he lives in the mountains right now and she lives in the city, and I guess he's making the move. And they talk about how much they like to work and not, making a priority and still making time for each other. After the meetup, that's the first meetup where they all talk about their problems. They talk about how the other couples seem to be on rocky ground because nothing makes couples feel closer and stronger than talking bad about other couples doing bad. So
True.
they're like they're on rocky grounds, and Annie was like, seeing all the other couples in trouble makes her nervous. Like, what if he doesn't love her the same? I'm like, let me get this straight. You're fine. You're good. You have no reason to be worried. But you see other couples in trouble, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? Let's shake things up a bit. Let me
Oh my
cause a
god.
fight. That
This is so
doesn't make
unhealthy.
sense.
It's so unhealthy. There are some self-saboteurs in this cast. Annie is on a Darcy level self-saboteur from 90 Day Fiance.
What?
Like, everything is going good and you're like, "No, I'm going to make it a problem." And when you keep on telling me what I want to hear, I'm gonna make that a problem too. Just like, what is your plan here?
What is in the water? Is the air too clear? I mean, literally, when I visited Denver, I could feel the difference in air quality when
Oh
I
yeah.
took a deep breath. Is that what it is? Do we need to get some pollution going?
I
Because
mean, yeah, well, I mean, they're so high up. Now they're down at sea level. Is just too much oxygen? Are their brains just flooded with like too much oxygen right now?
you
'Cause
would
this is
think
insane.
that would give them clarity, but no, it's not.
You would think. I mean, I know when you're up in a plane because the air is thinner, you cry better on an airplane from watching like a Hallmark movie or whatever. Is it the reverse here? Are they having so much oxygen they're just super overcome with emotions? It doesn't make this fight. I told when it was done, I'm like, oh, that was so satisfying. Just watching these two assholes just fuck it up made me so happy.
Oh, it's not the air, it's just alcohol because you
Yeah.
see Annie was sauced.
Oh,
So,
her eyelids were low.
very pupils dilated. Well, Nick brings up the wedding and says, when we asked, like, if the wedding was tomorrow, like, what would you say? He says that every single guy said they weren't sure. If I recall, didn't he say that, yes, I would absolutely, or was she the one who said it?
He said that she said that she'd marry him tomorrow, and that made him feel really good. But
Okay,
I don't
so
know. I don't know that he said it back. I don't know what he said.
don't know why he phrased it that way. There was just something, he didn't say anything wrong, but it was the way he phrased it, like every single guy said like they weren't sure. Like, one, you didn't need to tell her that, first of
No,
all. Two,
no,
just be like, but I don't feel that way. But he didn't add the I don't feel that way. But also 3 days, guys. 3 days.
3 days. And really, I mean, the way you phrase this is like, look, if we were to be at the altar today, I don't think I'd be able to say yes because we haven't lived together in the real world. We don't know our schedules yet. There's a lot to figure out. What I
Mhm.
will say is, if we get to the end of all of that and I feel the way then that I feel about you now, I will absolutely say yes. Why am I better at this than he is?
I mean, he could easily just even say, as of today, where we stand, I would absolutely marry the shit out of you. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all. We
Yeah.
don't,
And
it
I
doesn't have
hate
to be
Annie and I can talk about her like that.
It doesn't have to be any big thing. So he says like he just needs more time, and Annie's like, I don't need to hear that. She's not wrong. And it doesn't
No.
matter like what they think. Like, you don't have to tell her that. She doesn't need that to know how she feels. She knows what she wants. She wants to be with him. She wants to marry him. He
Mhm.
says, I just want to get to know you more. I want to be part of your life. And a switch has been flipped because all of a sudden she and her eyelashes seem upset. As
Oh, she, her
usual,
eyelashes, her open mouth smile, all of it's happening at the same time.
Nick tells her for the 1000th time, never doubt how much I love you. She's like, "Pfft, you don't get it." And then
Right?
he's like, okay, maybe you should get some sleep because he doesn't want to say on camera, like, I think you had a little bit too much to drink. Maybe you
Yeah.
should go. He's just like, you should get some sleep. She's like, you don't get it. You're just telling me to sleep it off. This is not a sleep it off type of situation. And then he tries to explain, and she's like, okay, thank you. You don't think there's anything else you could say? I'm like, here we go again with
I'm
this
like, what is he supposed to
unnecessary
say?
fights.
Like,
So
I can't
things
stand either one of these two, but I don't know what he was supposed to say.
when there's alcohol involved, there's nothing that makes
Yeah.
sense. Things take a real turn because she just starts saying, like, I feel like I'm all in, but you're not. Like, do you think you're ever gonna get there? Like, let me just tell you, you are not someone I need in my life. Like, my
Woo.
life will not fall apart if you are not there. Like, I want you in my life. Do you understand that? I don't need you, but I want you in my life. And he's like, okay. And then
Like,
he
I heard
keeps
it.
saying it. And I'm like, again, telenovela episode 2.
For real.
And
I just want you to understand, I do not need you. I don't. I don't need you around. Do you understand? You get it, right? I'm just like, I'd be like, okay, yes, I get it. Like, if you say it again, Imma leave, though."
Yeah, because Nick is valid when he asks and he's like, again, shitty people. And I'm like, don't make me side with this man. But he's
No.
valid when he says, I want to be on a journey with you. But then you're telling me 1,000 times what, like, you don't need me. What am I supposed to do with that information?
Right.
Because
What
really,
do you do with that?
truly, he's like, okay, get some sleep. And she's like, yeah, you do what you need to do. I obviously care more than you do. And he's like, all right, I'm just going to go to sleep. Is it okay? He asked for consent. Is it okay if I stay here? Because once again, I fucking love you.
Oh my god. And she's like, "Well, yeah, of course you can sleep here. Like, you're still my fiance." He's like, "Okay, should I though?" Like, she's volatile at this point. Like, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. So they wake up the next day as usual. We do not get to see the resolution. She just apologizes for how she acted. And he says, like, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I was put off by it, but it can't happen again. It seems so low key, but I just, what do you mean it can't happen again? I'm
It
going to
felt
fuck up again.
ominous.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to make a mistake again. I'm going to do something you don't like, but you can't tell me it's not. And, but she's just there laughing and like, ha ha ha, we'll be
Mhm.
fine and making jokes. So that's it. They go visit his house in the mountains. I was not ready. His house is amazing.
It is, and as somebody who lives in among the flattest states that we have to offer, and has for most of my life, I'm like, "Oh, shit, that is beautiful." I'm upset he gets to live here.
It, honestly, it is amazing. And I was like, if you're moving to the city, you have to Airbnb this. You have to
Yep.
make money out of it. It's like
Keep
you
this
have
place and make some money.
all of the things that will be needed for a mountain getaway, I guess. Like,
Mhm.
hey, give it to them after they come back to Denver again.
You got an ice boat? You have an ice sailboat? Like,
Yes.
I want that.
That's crazy. But he's so settled. He has like his game set up that he built by
Mhm.
himself and his bikes and his classic car. And Annie's just like, I feel bad asking you to leave. Like, you know, I don't want you to leave your really nice flag that you have in your house. She didn't say that. That's me. It was like a big old nice flag
Yeah.
flapping in the wind. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's a
So
lot.
yeah, she's like, I don't want you to leave. And he's like, no, it doesn't matter that, I want to be with you. And it would be nice to have two places before we decide what we want to do. They're problematic, but I think this is nice. Like
Yeah.
everything doesn't always have to be a battle. There's always going to be give or take. There's always going to be compromise. And the fact that he's just like his very nice house, really. And he's just like, we can make it work. I can live in cities, not permanent and all that.
Right.
It's nice. But I don't know if I'm giving him credit because I don't know if he's someone who is a cloud chaser and is like, I'm not gonna say no anyways. I'll be back. So that's fine.
Yeah, there were some things here that as a dude who knows problematic dudes raised some flags for me.
Oh, oh.
Number 1, you did not build your gaming setup. You assembled it. You for sure put it together. You did not, like, wire all this together and make this they sell these. They sell a whole kit with the racing chair and everything.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, Brian. I didn't think like he built from scratch. I figured like he just put it together.
Well, but I think he was trying to convince her, like, "I invented this thing." And I'm like, "That's weird."
Are you
Number
triggered,
2,
Brian?
well, I know this guy. Like, I know this guy. Number 2, listen, did 15-year-old me also want a Shelby Cobra? Goddamn right I did. As a grown man, that is not a practical car. It has no roof. You can't drive it in the snow in the mountains. You have a midlife crisis car. That's what this is.
Isn't it just a not an ornament, but it just sits there. You don't use it for anything
You
practical.
better drive that.
It's a
I mean,
showpiece or
it's a
something.
showpiece. It's a showpiece, but I didn't see I mean, that's an expensive showpiece. You can get 1 or 2 of these. You can get the real one, or you can, like, build it out of another car. I think there's a kit you can turn, like, maybe it's a Honda Civic into one of those. You can just, like,
Mhm.
bolt all the pieces on. I Given the levels of douche that he is, I'm assuming it's a real one, which is like 100 and something thousand dollars.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is all a lot. Oh yeah, I competed in the Team USA, duathlon. It's not a big deal. Like, all of this is giving, like, I'm Ron Burgundy. My apartment smells of leather bound books. It's he thinks he's a lot more important and bigger than he is, I think.
Mhm.
And he's
Yeah.
trying not to act that way. And again, perhaps I'm triggered by the bad Canadian accent, which happened in this scene. But, like, it's not. you know, okay, listen, okay, if you're gonna do a Canadian accent, okay, you don't have to go so over the top with it, you know? You don't have to really, exaggerate it and all that. It's just it's more subtle, than he wants to do. And I didn't appreciate, the appropriation of, somebody else's culture the way he was doing it. Like that's how you do it. I don't know what voice he was doing. I'm like, that's not just use your regular voice. Like,
He was just,
you can't do it, don't do it.
you guys, I think Brian is just trying to showcase that Nick is a douche. He's one of those
He's a
bro
douche.
guys who's trying to say, like, oh, look what I've accomplished. Look what I
Mhm.
have. And then try to play it off as casual.
Yes,
But
that was if it's me, I'm bragging about everything in here, but I'm not trying to be, "Oh, yeah, that's yeah, well, oh, yeah, I competed for Team USA. It was a pretty big deal, I guess." Yeah, elks sometimes walk by. I'm like, "No, isn't this crazy? An elk could come by." Like, you have to make it seem like it's impressive, not like this is just everybody's everyday experience.
well, that was. I'm gonna stop talking about Nick now. I don't want to get you mad, Brian. I don't want to get you so upset. I can't bring you back
Let him
down.
lose his gas.
So yeah, so that's it for the house. I don't think we got to see her apartment because she's trying to sell her apartment. We can walk there, nice restaurants. They're
Right?
nice. And it's so funny after we get the tour of his house and everything he has in there. But hey, they're
Mhm.
gonna make it work. So they meet his family, his mom, his dad, and his brother, where clearly Nick is his mother's favorite child because they're just talking about and she remembers, oh wait, and you too, honey. And he's like, uh-huh. It's
Mhm.
basically what is the saying? It's like when they say a redheaded stepchild, and I think his
Yeah,
brother was actually a redhead, and I'm
he
like,
was a
oh
redheaded.
dear. It's just like
That's
Nick has
rough.
always been Nick is, and his brother's just like, yeah, I'm just used to this. It's been my whole life. I'm going
Mhm.
through the summer I turned pretty. So it was I don't know how I got roped into it. This was the reason why I wasn't watching because it was everything I assumed it would be. The
Mhm.
yearning, the teenage angst, the all. Ugh. So, anyways, it's the whole Conrad Jeremy thing where one brother is the star child and the other person isn't. And because I'm watching that and I watched this, it gave me a little laugh.
I
On
get it. I get it.
so she loves Annie. She's like she's gonna fit into her family and she's great. So it was great so
Mhm.
far. Good
Everything's good.
family meetings for everyone. So all right. Anton and Allie. They're so boring that we have to watch them talk about makeup and nail polish. And he's like, has anyone put
Mhm.
makeup on you? Has anyone put nail polish? And Anton, just get bifocals. Stop putting glasses on top of your head. If you get
Right.
bifocals, you don't have to worry about all of that. When Anton is telling her like his friend is OT Dubs, you knew what he meant, right?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm like, I thought everyone knew what that
I thought
was.
so too. I didn't
Allie
I
was
she
like,
was very surprised.
yes, she's like, what is that? And so anyways, they're having breakfast together. She just come back from work. She's a nurse for anyone who doesn't remember in the morning. And he's making steak and eggs. And he asks if she wants mimosa. She doesn't really want it, but she's like, no, maybe not every day, but she does participate in it. And it just felt like there was a little bit of friction in terms
Mhm.
of the logistics of how that's going to work because they're going to be like sales passing in the night because of
Yeah.
their work schedules. Then she just mentions, oh, yeah, I'm going back to school full time. Once again, let me lean on you, Brian. Has this been mentioned before?
I don't think so. I would assume she's going for, like, her nurse practitioner, which, like, cool. That is a huge, like, demand of your time and your workload. So,
I
like,
mean,
this
no,
should have been brought up in the pods.
but what the heck though? Like, I don't like finding out these things like
Mm-mm.
now. I would
Mm-mm.
assume it comes up in the pods because if you remember season one, the couple no one remember Amber and
Barnett?
yeah, she
Yeah.
had you remember the whole student they're still together with the whole student
Yeah.
loans and had no money and all that. But I think going
By
back
the
to
way, I'm
school
broke and unemployed.
full time in this economy is a whole thing. And she just says mentioning how, last time I was in school, my mom took care of everything. Like cleaning is not going to be a priority. I don't want to do all that. And I'm like, how old were you then? Years have passed. Like you have to be an
No,
adult. And just because you're in school doesn't mean you have to be a slob. I
no.
didn't get the correlation. She's like, I don't have time. I was like, okay, but what if there are people out there who maybe don't have a partner, don't have a mom who's going to pick up. What would you do? Live in squalor? Like, what is the
I
correlation?
mean, I lived with a law student once. We couldn't see his floor in his room because it was all covered in papers and clothes at all times. Like, if if he had like a fiance, even like a real girlfriend at that time, she'd be like, "Clean this pigsty up. This is insane. I can't walk in your room because the whole floor is covered up." I need to know what she means by this. Like, is it are you legit just going to have mess like your pig pen everywhere you go, or is this more of like little incidentals? I may not wash every dish as it comes, or I just need to see how bad this is going to get.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, I was just struggling. I was like, regardless of what you're doing, you still have to have a semblance of cleanliness. I thought, but
You
then
think
again,
so?
I'm also the person who saw someone say day 9 of showering every day. So you know what? People
I saw
live
that
different.
too.
People
I
live
said day
different.
9.
So you know they're talking about finances, and she's like, do you think you can cover for both of us? He's like, yeah, I can make enough, but you have to work like 1 or 2 days and stuff.
Mhm.
She's like, yeah, I want to be able to just afford my Botox. That's her
Right?
priority. And he's like, he wants them to have a joint account, and she's like, I don't see what's wrong with having a joint account and a separate account. It's always touchy. I don't think there's a wrong or right with couples. Whatever they decide to do with their finances, you just have to do what works best for you. But again, they're just 1 week in, they're not married yet. They'll figure that out. But it's good that they're having the conversation now. He
Mhm.
says he wants to have a Mr. and Mrs. Stamp on like a sweater, just like an activity to do. And he's just like, I know it's corny. And she's like, yep, it is, but we can do it. He's like, maybe we can keep it going. She's like, yeah, once is enough. It's too corny. She's basically shitting on everything that he's saying. So I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on, but there's friction here. And again, I don't know if it's the editing, if maybe this breakfast was after the visit with the friend, and then this is what's going on. I don't
It
know.
could
But
be.
either way, there was some kind of tension that I'm like, I thought this was our golden couple without conflict. So what is happening right now? But then she just flips it to him and is like, you're being weird. He's like,
Yeah.
I am. She's like, yeah. Like, what's going on? Are we good? He's like, I'm good. I'm just tired. He's like, what's
Yeah.
going on? He wasn't giving her eye contact. I will say that. There was no eye
That's
contact. He was staring
yeah.
everywhere else but she's like, I just feel like you're not being honest. And I'm like, again, give us a confessional. What
Yeah.
is it that you noticed? What is it that you saw so that we can go on this journey with you? But if we're
Mhm.
going from the getaway in Baja, where you're saying we're perfect, we're just waiting for a conflict, then we have the mimosas and you look like you're annoyed by him, then all of a sudden you're like, you're not being honest. And I'm like, wait, what? What did he
Yeah.
do? What are you seeing that we don't see? This is where we need a confessional.
Yeah.
It's so
Well,
frustrating.
and part of me just wonders also, like, I am not a nurse. I'm not cut out for that life. I have some friends that are nurses. They seem pretty exhausted at the end of their shift. Like a lot of times they've seen gross things all day. They've had all kind of fluids on them and all kind of nasty stuff. They're not really in the mood to come home and be like chatty and cute and flirty. It's like, man, I'm beat. I just want to come home and go to sleep. So I can see if her mood is just kind of off in general, and then she's looking for conflict because she wants to have one. She's it just felt like this is not the time to be doing any of these things. Like let just this is not the time for any of this.
It just felt like everyone got together and said, we're just going to pick fights because why
Mhm.
not? Because what
Yeah,
is going on over
everyone's
here?
mad. The air was thin. Everyone's
So
stressed.
they go ahead and they meet like his friends. For anyone who doesn't remember, he did mention in the pods that his family is in Russia.
Mhm.
So I think it's just friends that they're gonna meet. But his friend been with his girlfriend for 4 months.
For
That's an
months.
interesting choice to bring someone. And I think his girlfriend is also, I don't know, she's Latin, I believe she
Mhm.
was too, Melissa.
Yep.
And we find out that Ali has only been in Denver for a year and she doesn't like it. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
another transplant. And
Yep.
they're thinking about moving to Florida, but she doesn't want the party scene. And I was like, but you want to move to? Did they specifically say Miami? I'm not sure.
I don't
So
think so, but if you're moving to Florida, not Miami, what are you doing? They want to be in
hey,
Tallahassee or Jacksonville?
there are other places. Hey,
I guess Fort Lauderdale's pretty nice. It's fair.
yeah, Orlando. So
Yeah. It's it's,
um,
it's
they do the whole bathroom move of, oh, we gotta go to the bathroom. So the ladies go to the bathroom and they're talking, and he's talking to his friend, and I didn't miss when Anton is like, she's cute. I mean, obviously she's bad. He is
Mhm.
seeking approval from his friend, like, right, I got a baddie, right? And his
Which is
friend is
weird
like,
because, like,
oh.
duh.
His friend is like, yeah, she is. And I can't believe that they're in the bathroom. And then the girlfriend, Melissa, is like, I'm so surprised that he decided to get married. He's not the marrying type. Like,
Unreal.
they like going to the strip clubs. And even before they met, they were going in there. And I'm like, what is
Unreal. This was messed up. I was mad. Because, like, number one, um, I'm not a strip club guy. I feel weird in there. Like, it's awkward. There's a really nice one near my house. It's 3 stories tall. It's wild. It feels weird to be in there. I'm just like, this feels a little bit uncomfortable to me. However, if you are a strip club guy, okay, that doesn't mean you're in there like having sex with the girls, trying to bring them home or anything. Like it's odd to me, but lots of things are odd to me. Being really into poker is odd to me, right? So like,
that?
if this is what you like, okay. If your wife says, "Hey, that makes me uncomfortable," I don't think Anton's like, "I have to go. I'm going anyway."
Yeah,
So if she doesn't want him to go, I bet he wouldn't go. But
yeah,
for Melissa to be like, "Oh yeah, they love partying. They're always at the club. They're always partying and blah blah blah." It's like, okay, why don't you wait for that to happen to see if it's a problem? Instead, she gets back to the table like, "You're in trouble." It's like, for what? I haven't done anything because she told you I used to go to the club. Like I'm in trouble for that. You wouldn't even tell me why you're mad at me. That would have sent me.
yeah, but the story didn't even make sense because she was saying it was back when they were single, and she was like, "But you've been only been dating 4 months," and I'm like, "Yeah." So that's where it is. But at the same time, the friend was also telling Anton, like, honestly, when you left for the pods, I gave you 2 weeks. I just thought you were going to
Mhm.
be there for 2 weeks. Like, you just didn't seem like the marrying kind. So it's just coming back, like you said, saying you're in trouble, and again, not having a conversation. These people do not know how to communicate. Marriage is
No.
all communication. It sounds very cliche, but when people always say communication is important, we as human beings don't know how to do it, but it is important. But these people are on the next level. It's like mind readers for people you've only known 5 days at the
Yeah.
very least.
Yep.
So I just think producers are like, y'all are too happy and boring. We need to shake things up. And then they said, Melissa, what can you do?
You got a
Because
problematic friend you can bring around or something?
yeah, and then they get that there. So I don't know. I don't know. This I didn't like how it was because she was already looking or feeling like she's hesitant about Anton. But
Mhm.
it's again without confessionals, we don't know where that came from. We went
Right.
from Baja to I don't know about this guy. I don't know if I want to, be with him. So
And even when they first got home, I thought it was cute that they're spying on the neighbors and making up a little story. Like
mhm.
that was my first date. We were at a
It-
bar and just made up stories for everyone in there.
it's like Friends when they had ugly naked guy across
Yeah.
the
Yeah. No, I mean, legit, our first date was holding hands in a bar, making fun of everyone in there with fake stories they made up about them. Like, oh, I got to marry this girl. Like, I thought that was very cute. And then to go from that to you're mad, and then she's basic. I mean, the drinking thing is also going to come up. It feels like she's looking for a reason to bail.
Yeah, but I need to know the origin story.
Right. So
Something
do
must
I.
have flipped her, and we don't
Yep.
know what it is. So that transition for us is kind of difficult because they're not helping us along the way. So,
Mhm.
okay, another break, guys, and I'll be back to talk about sparkly. Is it sparkly or sparkling?
Sparkle. It's just Sparkle Megan.
Sparkle. Oh, Sparkle Megan. Okay,
Yeah.
to talk about Sparkle Megan and Jordan, and a reminder that if the ad breaks are so annoying, I have a $3 tier where you can listen ad free without all of the pesky ads. And we'll be right back. All right. They are having, that's Sparkle Megan and Jordan, a similar conversation where Megan is like, today was a lot. Today was a lot. And Jordan was like, what was a lot? And made a
Right.
joke. And it's like, this is after the pool party, I think.
Mhm.
And she's like, I just need you to be there for me. And he's like, we need to communicate. You need to let me know because if you don't, I'm not going to know. And if you guys recall, like Jordan is the only person that I think has a semblance of sense this
Mhm.
season, but he also has his ways. That pool party was not it at all. And I
He's
think
not a
like
good drunk.
Megan, I would be annoyed by someone who just jokes all the time. Like everything
Yeah.
cannot be a joke. The
Yeah.
time and place. Um, she's like, "What is the thing?" She's like, "I want us to be like a power couple." And then he's like, "Oh, you don't think so? You thought the others were power couples?" Then he says, "You thought KB and Edmund?" And then she's like, "No." She's like,
Good
"You thought
deflection.
Joe and Madison?" She's like, No, that was funny. That
That
was
was good.
mean, but that was funny.
No, and this is what we see here is effective conflict resolution. There it is tense, it is uncomfortable, she's upset about something. By the end of it, they're making out and laughing. I'm like, "Yeah, because you handled this like a grown-up." You're like, "Man, I didn't mean to make you feel that way, but also, like, let's be real. Everyone is a mess around us, right?" Like, that
Yeah.
he did a good job.
Yeah, it is a pet peeve though when people are like when you ask them a question and you're like, "Oh, I don't know,"
Mhm.
because you always do. It's either you don't know how to express it or you're scared to. Just make your point with your chest, but don't tell him, "I need you to do this and that," and you can't express to him what exactly it is that you need him to do. And also,
Yep.
I like that he felt like he was kind of trying to point out, you're saying you want us to be a power couple, so do you want it because of how we look to other people or because we genuinely want to be a power couple of people who respect ourselves? Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you hear it and you start saying it, you sound silly even to yourself. So I like that he
Mhm.
pushed her and challenged her on that. Well, she's like, I just want us to connect. And, saying I love you heals everything. And all of a sudden, I love
Sure
you.
does.
I love you. So Jordan is saying, they go to the apartment. They move into the apartment, and Jordan starts saying, "Oh, this is way more stylish than my apartment. My apartment is so humble." And I'm like, I wish they wouldn't say this all the time. And do you notice that on all these shows, when they go see apartments, it's only the men. Only the men keep saying, "Oh, mine is just humble. Mine is
Mhm.
small. Mine is half of this." Like, okay, we get it, but say
Yeah.
it once and dead it. Are
Yeah.
you watching? Did you watch Bachelor in Paradise?
No, I don't watch
Oh,
any, network reality shows.
oh,
Cable only. Cable and streaming only.
sucks for you. Okay,
I
we had
know.
we had Dale, and Dale kept saying, "I thought this was deaded, deaded, dead," and then he's just like, "What is deaded? What does that mean?" So
I never say it, but I've heard it before.
yeah, I mean, it sounds self-explanatory to me.
Mhm.
Well, he sounds like, "I'm a simple guy," and then they have an awkward moment where she's smiling, and then they kiss because I don't know if she felt uncomfortable with, "I'm a simple guy," aka, "Are you broke?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm excited for you to see my taste." I'm like, "I thought you didn't have a place."
I don't
So
know.
they're unpacking and she brings out her sparkle dress and he's like, "Huh, interesting." And then he moves on to talk about Luca, his favorite
Yep.
topic. And I don't want to say this because I don't think I said this in the first batch. As much as I am saying it is a tad much that, Megan is just like, I want to be a mom to Luca. I want to do this. I want to give her kudos for embracing being a stepmommy because it's not easy, and it's not a easy shoes to fill, especially with this process where she's not going to get to meet him. They don't have like a dynamic. She doesn't know what she's walking into. She's never done it before. And honestly, I'd rather have this, someone who's overly eager, than the opposite, someone who's not going to consider that there's a
Yeah.
child or understand that there's a child in the mix. So just wanted to give Megan props and kudos for that because
Yeah.
again, not easy.
She's taken the role seriously, which you can
Yeah.
tell. And
Hmm.
I think Jordan made a point that most parents that I can think of would also make, which is if you want to buy him a gift, that's fine. Something small, we $5 is fine, something little.
Yeah.
But like what my kid values more than that is like experiences and doing stuff with you. And
I
like
want
that's most kids I know.
Yeah, I wanted to lead up to that because
Okay.
I had a point for that, but she does bring up being excited to look for houses with him,
Yes.
and then he pivots again and is like, "I'm excited for you to meet Luca and meet Lucas's mom," and she does say that she's nervous, and he says that there's nothing to be nervous about. She's going to love you, and then she starts crying. I swear there's something in the water.
Yeah.
Something is
I
in
don't know.
water because everyone is off
It's
their is something going on behind the scenes we don't know? Is that why we have no confessional? I don't know.
I don't know.
But
She's crying for no
it's
reason. He's
yeah,
telling you exactly what you want to hear and you're crying about it.
yeah, she's like, it's a lot. There's so many unknowns. I'm like, you just landed. You literally just got back to Denver. Nothing has
Yeah.
happened yet. And then she starts like spazzing and thinking of scenarios that haven't even happened. You have not
Mhm.
even met the guy. Like, you
No.
don't know if your relationship is even going to stand. You don't know, like, what is happening. So he does bring up, the whole thing that you were referencing, which is like, because she says, I don't know how I fit in. I don't know how I'm going to stand. And then he brings up like he wants his son to understand that he needs to work for things. And I think that's the
Yes.
other thing she's going to have to get used to is his parenting style. And it's
Mhm.
like, don't buy him a Gucci backpack. It's more like the experiences. And I know that Jordan went off on a big speech about experiences over gifts. But so what I wanted to bring up is I think he was missing the point.
Yeah.
I don't think what she was saying when she says I don't know how I fit in is like if I want to buy him something, I don't want to overstep. I don't want it's not in that regard. I think maybe let's talk about discipline. He's watching TV and it's like, okay, Luca, you need to be done and go up to your room. Do I have that power to do that? Do you want it to just be you? Do you want me to have the same equitable, I don't know, power ranking when it comes to disciplining him? Or do you want it to just be you and his mom? And I think that's what she was talking about. And suddenly he made it about if you buy the gifts and if you do this, because of course I don't think you should police that because even if she wasn't the stepmom, we have aunts and uncles and friends who are like, "Hey, I got a gift for." They're not gonna be like, "Hey, Jordan, should I don't know. I that
I
was
see
my
both.
understanding of this. Was I thought that she was saying, "I don't know how I fit in as a parent, not
Yeah.
the buying things," and he switched it into buying toys and experiences and
And
stuff.
see, and I think you're right. I think she's spinning out in general because I don't know that she's ever really spent
Yeah,
extensive time with a kid who's not like a blood relative of hers.
yeah,
Um, and I could think about like myself before I had my son when I only had a nephew. It's like I don't know how to talk to kids. I don't know what to do. I'm not around them that often. So I think she's working herself up because it's easy for me to imagine her saying, I like this guy so much. Things are going well. If I bomb with this kid, it's over. Like there's no way he's
mm-hmm.
going to stay with me if his kid is like, I don't like her.
Yeah,
So I could see that being kind of where her anxiety is coming from. I think with the parenting stuff, you feel that out as it comes. Like you watch what he does and do what he does. I know
mm-hmm.
that, the way that my wife and I parent our son is different from the way that her brother and his wife parent their daughters. And her parents do what we do and do what they do. So it's like we're just following your lead in your house. We're going to treat your kid the way that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent, if you overstep, I'll let you know. Like I'm gonna say, hey, let me do this, or the way that you did it is not the way that we've kind of been doing it. And I think consistency matters so much with kids that you want them to know what to expect. On the gift thing, I where he's at. Don't show up with gifts unannounced because number one, who knows whether we have space for that? We have at one point in time received an entire play kitchen. We had nowhere to put it. We had to put it on Facebook Marketplace. There's like literally no space in our house for this gigantic play kitchen. Very nice of you to think of us. We can't do anything with this.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, we're not a house where we get our kid gifts all the time. We'll usually like overbuy for Christmas, keep half of that shit in the closet, and then once every month or two bring out something. So if he comes to expect that every time you come over, you're bringing a present, that's not a usual experience for us. And then it's kind of, we don't want him to think, oh, I just get stuff all the time. So I
Mm-hmm.
get where he's coming from on both of these. I just think that she needs to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
The easy solution here is, hey, if gift giving is your love language, you want to give him a gift, cool. Why don't we all go together to like Target? Well, not Target because we're boycotting. Let's all go together to Walmart. We should be boycotting there, but we're not. And we'll go to the toy aisle and let him pick out one thing that he wants to get. Like that is what I would do.
In a
We
price
don't have
range. Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll get one thing that you would like. That's because the kid doesn't understand price. So you say, hey, here's like 10 options for you. Which one of these things do you want to have the most? And
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. But they just need to have a conversation. She needs to calm down and listen to him when he's like, it's gonna be fine. The kid's gonna love you. He loves everybody. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
totally fine.
Well, she does say, what if he reassured her first and it was like, I don't need my ex's permission for everything, like I don't want you
Right.
stressing, everything is going to be fine. But she does say like, what if I don't get to meet him for the next 2 weeks and then we have 1 week left before a wedding, like like I guess in her mind she can't get married without meeting Luca. And Jordan
Yeah.
says we're going to keep working on that. And I'm like, oh wait, is this a thing? Shouldn't we have settled this before going on the pods? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I interpreted this as kind of like we had to work out like timing wise because I look at my son, right? He gets home from school at like 3:30. Bedtime is 7:30. We got 4 hours. Part of that is dinner. Part of that's bath. Like there's things that we have to do. So I could see if the central apartment is like 40 minutes away from where Luca and his mom are staying right now, for example. Then it's like, well, it's going to be hard for us during the week to do it. Maybe this weekend they have something planned. I don't know, but it could just be a
Uh,
logistics thing. And then what he said is, we're going to make that happen even if it's offline. So
Again,
I
I
think,
was going to that to also be
yeah.
like, again, is that not a given? I just think these are things that have been static. Nothing has changed. It was always going to be central. They were always
Mhm.
coming back at a certain date. You were always going to go on the pods. So
Yeah.
it's not new information that is like, even if it has to be offline. I'm thinking that's a given. I don't think kids should be shown on a show like
No.
this, without,
No.
if you want to, that's fine. Like my surprise on Love Island when they showed Huda's kid and showed her
Mhm.
face, her picture. I was so surprised because
Yeah.
I thought they would be stricter about that. So to me, even the offline thing, I thought that was a given. If she was going to meet him,
Same.
it shouldn't be on camera. So all this was a surprise as to why this was not taken care. The minute they decided they were engaged, I just think everything should have been. They should start working on that. If you're going
Yeah.
to talk to this person, even before you come on the pods, you tell him, "Hey, I'm going on the show. I mean, his ex, I guess. I'm going on
Mhm.
the show. There's a possibility I might get engaged. If I do, I would like Luca to meet this person. Are you okay with it?" But it was the way he said, "I'm still working on it." I'm like, working on it as in she's saying no, or what do we
Yeah.
mean?
That I
Confessionals.
hope not. Confessionals, yes, because all we need is for her to explain what she's been told about meeting him, so we
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
The
because
way that
why
it
is she
comes across,
freaking out?
yeah,
Yeah,
the ex doesn't seem like she's opposed to them meeting.
yeah,
I
yeah,
you know, I understand the ex wanting to meet her first, but obviously he didn't meet her guy first, so it's not a requirement.
yeah.
I don't know. We're missing the information of why this is a concern.
That's my whole point. Is like you said, everything you just said right now, where it's like understanding, like, yeah, you have to meet her first, but then at the same time, you went ahead and you didn't. There was no permission that was needed. So what is it that you're working on? That's what I
Yeah.
need to know. These are the gaps that need to be filled. I don't like doing homework when I'm watching TV because then I'm trying
No.
to put two and two together.
Mhm.
So they go to Jordan's apartment, keep saying that his apartment is humble. And then she's like, "Oh my God, there's no food. Do you not eat?" And I'm like, hasn't he been gone?
He's been gone, which yeah, I can get why the fridge is empty. That makes sense. You should have a full pantry. You got a kid. You got to have snacks. Your kid's 5. You got to have some snacks. Where are your goldfish at?
Know what she was surprised about that there was no food. It was the refrigerator that we saw. I know when we travel, we empty our refrigerator. So what are you
If I'm gone for that long, yeah, you're right.
so they meet her family. It's her mom and her sister, and it happens to be the fourth anniversary of her dad's passing. Their reaction when she tells them that, Luca also has type 1 diabetes, and
Uh,
her sister had a dream, and her dad just saying, like, it's him. And I'm like, oh my God, these two better say yes.
they
Dad's reputation
better
is on the line.
if dad is coming to you in a dream and saying his boy is like me, you have
Yes.
to do this better work.
Yeah.
Like, beyond the grave, this better work.
Yeah. So she brings up like it was the anniversary, wanting a hug from him. He didn't know what to do, and she didn't say anything. And Jordan is like, honestly, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, and it's a thing that you have to speak up and let him know what you need from her.
Mhm.
We have a moment that's going to live in Love is Blind infamy forever and ever because the ninja's out. I'm like, oh, smoothie. We are living in our protein era, guys, but I was gooped, gagged in a bad way watching Joe blend a raw chicken breast in water and a packet of Crystal Light because what in the hell?
Well, he did say he baked the chicken breast first, at least, which makes this even worse, quite frankly. Because if you have a baked chicken breast
Oh,
and you
it's
have
gonna
water
be.
and a Crystal Light packet,
Uh,
put that chicken breast in the microwave, eat that with your glass of Crystal Light. There's no reason to blend it up and drink it. It's food. I could see it for putting like 30 ingredients in there, and one of these, you have chicken, water, and Crystal Light. Eat your damn chicken, drink your damn Crystal Light. There's no reason to do this. I was appalled.
you
Like,
sure
and that
that
was
chicken
a
was
pale
baked?
chicken breast. He
You
said
sure
it
it
was.
was baked? It
He
looked
he
like
said
it
it
came out the
was. It looked like it was frozen. Like, it looked frozen to me.
Yeah, it looked like it came straight out the pack, but
Yeah,
okay.
she was like, I think she was like, "What kind of," she's like, "Oh, it's just raw." And then he's like, "No, I'm kidding, I baked it first." And I'm like, "Okay, because otherwise you're gonna get salmonella. Like, you can't
Or
just drink chicken.
like she said, just eat 6 eggs. I just what there are many steps skipped till
Just
we
eat the
got
chicken."
here.
Like, you have chicken, just eat the chicken.
That's crazy.
I don't get it. I don't. You might as well put a hamburger in there and blend that up. Eat it. It's food already. Like, you don't have to process it first.
I mean, allegedly 55 grams of
Cool.
protein.
It's the same if you eat it. If you just
I mean,
chew it up with a
do
knife and
you
fork.
know what I was thinking? If we're going ahead with this crazy idea, why the crystal light? At this point, why not just put protein powder if that's the
Right.
real goal
For
and
the
then mix it
flavoring,
up together?
was that an orange chicken pack? You do an orange chicken? Like, I don't know what. This was disgusting. This was, and
I
the
mean,
chicken mustache, this was disgusting.
yeah, and then the fact that Megan even tried it could never be me. No, I
Couldn't
don't
be
want
me.
it.
Not in no way.
So they immediately go house hunting. She's like, she's not going to skimp on her house hunting when
Mm.
they were there with the realtor. And they're like, what is your price range? And without skipping a beat, Megan is like 1.5 to 2 million, not thousand, guys.
Mhm.
1.5 to 2 million. Jordan's reaction is me. Jordan is like,
He
okay,
said
yeah, yeah,
he was a Keenan Thompson reaction gif. It's
yes.
like, whoa, what?
um, but Jordan tells we did get a confessional here where he says she's not making me feel like a mooch, but I do feel like one, and he
Mhm.
doesn't want her to feel like she's stepping down. I'm not gonna lie, I still hope they make it work. I really do.
I hope they do.
I don't know, but
I hope they do. And his concern, I understand. I was ready for him to be like, I feel emasculated letting you buy me a house. And that's not what this was. It was just like, I'm gonna feel like I'm not holding up my end of the bargain. And I don't want to feel that way. And I think probably internally, he's also saying, I don't want you to resent me
yeah.
because you're floating us financially for everything and I'm not pulling my weight, which is a whole lot better than how like Akechi handled seeing Im's apartment. Right? Like, I get why he's like, yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm a financial burden to you, especially bringing in a child too.
I guess the way I would see it is like maybe have the house in her name and then whatever you were paying for an apartment, just contribute that for the
Could.
mortgage and all that. So you don't feel like, I don't know. But I feel like they can work it
Yeah,
out, you know.
they can.
I
I think
hope
they're
they do.
fine.
Because she
I think
doesn't mind and she's not going out of her way to say again, it's anticipating problems that haven't happened yet.
hmm
Him thinking that she's going to resent him for some reason. But I think I'm thinking the way Megan thinks of it, even if it doesn't work out, I got my house. I'm gonna have my house, and then just have an ironclad prenup, and we'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
All
where I'm
right,
at too.
Edmund and KB.
Oh boy.
We moved on from the crying like nothing happened, like I said,
Yep.
and
Totally fine.
he apologizes for his reaction. And this man has a hair pick and flowers in his hair,
Sure does.
and he
Sure
does
does.
actually say, "I knew you were waiting for marriage," and again, I don't know if it was wonky editing, but okay, thanks for letting us know. But she
hmm
actually looks checked out to me. She
Same.
says that she's still in it, that the person in the pods matches who she sees, but she's not gonna lie. She's still stuck on the fight from yesterday, and it's gonna take her some time to get over it, but she appreciates him.
hmm
Take note of that. She told him, I appreciate you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So they move into their apartment when they come back to Denver, and the first thing Edmund tries to do is what? Fit into the cabinets.
Come on. Come on, man. Why? Why are you the way that you are? And I've seen a lot of discourse online of people diagnosing him being somewhere on the autism spectrum. Perhaps he is. Perhaps. Either way, like, I could see you being like, oh my God, this is a big cabinet. I could even see you saying, I could probably fit in there. By the time you are wedging your body inside and trying to figure out how to close the cabinet door, this has been going on for a couple of minutes. Like, we get it. It's a big cabinet. Cool. Like, let's come out. And there was a line that KB said here that I don't know how many people outside of the Black American community understand it. She hit him with, hey man, if you like it, I love it. That means fuck you. If you like it, I love it means fuck you. I'm sick of your bullshit. Like, you're fucking up. So, like, when she said that, I said, I was like, "Oh, no. Not if you like it, I love it."
I mean, it could be two different things because that is my mantra, but I don't necessarily always mean fuck you. I just always mean like, listen, if you like it, you're grown, you can do what you want to do. I'm just not going to be involved.
See,
So
the way I say it is like, "Hey, man, you know you're fucking up. Leave me out of it. If you like it, I love it."
I don't think that's where she's at. I
I
think
hope
she was
not.
more like, no, I think she's just more like, oh, I don't get it, but if it gives you joy, go ahead and go ye forth.
It's a little bit like "bless your heart" in the South. It depends on how you say it,
Yeah.
I guess.
I was just upset that he had his house slippers on and was just trying to fit into that.
That was insane.
He kept saying it's lit, it's lit. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Then next thing we see is
Cabinet.
him making pancake mix in a pot. I think his mom is coming over and he's excited to see his mom. And it's the moment I've been waiting for because I'm like, show me a reality show person's parents and you understand where they come from, much like
Yep.
those of us who met Bronwyn's mom and we're like,
Oh
ah,
my god, Muzzy.
okay, we
I
got
would've
it.
said, "Get out of my house." You can get out my
So
house.
so yeah, so his mom comes and mama came as she was. Mama makeup free, had some material tied over her shirt that
She was
matched
doing a
her
lot.
scarf and had all that. And then she's asking questions. And also, mama likes her food. She ate her food.
Mhm.
And she talks just like Edmund. They
Yeah.
say, oh my God, the same way.
Yep.
It's just the same.
Yep.
Basically, Edmund is his mother's child. So she
Uh-huh.
asked KB, what made you pick my son? She said, he can he was just open and she appreciated that. She says that Edmund can be cagey. So if you can get him to open up, then that's good. I do think what's worrisome is the fact that KB's job, she's in the social worker industry type thing.
Yeah,
And
she's
I'm
a social
hoping
worker.
that Edmund isn't just another case for her because I've been wondering why she has that patience. But the way she talks to him, the way she's not phased, she could just be like, this is just, but you want a partner, not, someone that's just
Not
another,
not a
like bringing the
case.
job home.
Yeah.
So she said she had beads that she was going to give her, and then something about she was in Ghana. I don't think she's from Ghana. I think she just
You just probably visited.
likes
I mean,
visited and just connected with the place. And she says like they were cultural. My guess is they're probably like waist beads. I don't know
probably.
what they
Probably,
were.
yeah.
I do like how Edmund shut up and let them have a conversation. For someone who seems to be on Red Bull all day, he just stayed in
Yep.
the corner, let them have a conversation. So that was good. They talk alone, and that's Edmund and his mom. And she tells him, like, when it was based on just her Instagram, it was a no for me, dog. Like, I wasn't gonna go for her, but meeting her, I like her. And I'm
Yep.
like, what is on that Instagram? And I have a question. I have seen that her Instagram is, a lot. Do you think KB is here for clout chasing, love, or both?
I don't know, 'cause I've not been on her Instagram. Is it just, like, a lot of twerk videos or, like, what are we.
No, no, I think they're saying like maybe just to think maybe like the rodeo outfit
Okay, okay.
on the 100, and just maybe just
Okay.
her sense of style is what she's
I
being
should go to
judged
that.
by.
I don't know. I don't She doesn't seem like she's clout chasing to me
Mhm.
because we don't see her being, like, showy enough for that. She's not giving herself a catchphrase. She's not trying to be all in everybody's drama, all that. Um, I think that probably she is here for love, and I think she's trying too hard to find it here. I don't think this is a good match for her, but she doesn't want to give up. And I'm hoping it's because she's being sincere, not because she's trying to get more followers.
Well, I feel like her mother-in-law, her maybe mother-in-law gave her a lot of follows
I
because
mean,
everybody's just going to be like, what are we talking about here?
right?
So
Yeah, I've not been over there yet, but the day is young.
um, okay. So at some point, Edmund's mom is like, I raised him right. I did right. So that's why he came out to be the man that he is. What I thought he was in foster care.
Yeah, that was wonky for me. I need some more clarification because it sounded like he was in foster care a lot. And like he would go home, and I think at one point he was like, "Yeah, for however long we were home, 2 months, 3 months, whatever, things were good, and then we get bad again." So like, I don't know how often he was there, how long he was in foster homes. We just don't know.
Yeah, the reason I say that is like if that's not the case and he didn't say anything, it just seems like that dynamic where like maybe the parent isn't the best. You're not trying to shame them, but then you're also putting up with more than you should and you're still trying to please them at the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot of things
So
happening.
because she suddenly started crying also, so they're the same when it comes that way. And
Yep.
then she's talking about she feels a baby's coming her way. She talks about her other daughter-in-laws and how they always rat her out and then she cries again and I'm like,
Mhm.
something about this is giving me there's a lot to explore here, but
Yeah.
Edmund just wants his mom in his life, so he's just not going to question anything.
Yeah.
Again, this is what happens when you don't have confessional. I'm just putting pieces together that could be absolutely wrong, but it was
That's all
just
we
a
can do.
vibe that I was getting,
Yeah. Yeah.
from there. Edmund does surprise her with roller skates. Like the package comes in from Amazon. He didn't put in like a gift bag or anything. He just gave. She opened it and gave it to her, and it was kind of cute.
It was
So
kinda cute. It was
yeah,
kinda cute.
okay. So that's it for all the couples, and the pod squad get together, and they're all meeting at a barn.
A honky tonk. I
I
don't know what you would call this.
that was the theme of the night. Was
Yeah.
that? Um, After telling Anton that he's in trouble, we do not see any fallout.
Nope.
Instead, we see them talk about a get together and they're talking about this hangout. And Ali is worried that there's going to be drama. And Anton is like, there's going to be a lot of flirting. I'm like, okay, sure.
Alright.
You people are engaged. I just really hate when people are engaged and they still engage with their other connections like they're single.
Right. Yeah, it's
So
not good.
they Calibria's style is less is more. So she had some really short shorts, some really bustier type thing. She looked good though. I'm not saying like
Cool.
she just looked really good. So Megan shares that she met Luca's mom and it went very well. Ali shares what the girl was saying. So we see Ali talking to the girls before she even talks to Anton.
Yep.
I don't understand this timeline. So she's like, do I believe the friend? That she said he did that as a single guy, but he hasn't. But this was he told her that he hasn't been to a strip club in over a year, so she doesn't know who to trust. If you ask, you could tell, and if you say yes to someone in an engagement, you're choosing to trust who they are in that moment. You got to
Yeah.
lean in.
And also, like, honestly, what difference does it make? If he went to a strip club 4 months ago, if he went to a strip club 12 months ago,
Yeah.
if he hasn't been in months and the only dude he used to go with is in a relationship and doesn't go anymore, he's not going to go by himself. There is nothing sadder than the guy by himself in a strip club. Okay, so like,
He might have other friends.
I don't. It sounds like this is like his one party buddy, but like, regardless, if he hasn't gone in months, why are we making it an issue? Why don't we wait and see if it becomes a problem?
Well, because we got to cause a fight. That was the whole theme of
Got to do it.
this batch. She also shares that he has beers in the morning after work, but he also works the night shift, but he comes in and she's like, that's not her vibe. I think that's a valid concern. I get it that you work, but if you have to have something and you can't do without, maybe
See,
an orange flag.
I see both ways here because, like, do I have 2 beers every night? Like, no, but is it unusual for me to like have a stressful day of work and have a couple of beers? Like, no. Do I get a buzz from 2 beers? No, I'm big and I know how to drink, so 2 beers is not going to like impact my behavior or my mentality. Um, on the other hand, if it's like we had parent teacher conferences the other night, I'd not have 2 beers before I went to parent teacher conferences. Like it's
Mhm.
not like I need to have beers. So I can see where she's coming from, especially with it being in the morning. But like the morning is different if it's after your work schedule and you're going to bed. I just think it's one of those things where talk to him about it. Let him know, hey, like I don't know how comfortable I am with you having like 2 beers every day after work or whatever. And he might go, oh, I didn't know that was an issue with you. Like if it's making you uncomfortable, I can not do that, and that might just solve the whole thing.
Yeah.
Instead, she's like, oh man, like what? And he parties all the time, and he loves the titty bar. Like, who is this man? I'm like, why don't you talk to him about your concerns and let him know how you're feeling and see how he reacts before you just jump to every possible conclusion.
It's so crazy how much pressure being in a romantic relationship does because you realize that they're so open to talk to each other, but they've all known each other the same amount of days.
Mhm. It's true.
But instead of just talking to your partner about it, you're saying all these things to people who cannot help you in fixing the situation, you
And
know?
if it's Pod Squad people, it's people who don't even know this dude. Like,
Yeah.
they barely talk to him at all.
Yeah. I mean, all that being said, I don't know, having to have beers in the morning after work every day, it's a
Yeah,
problem.
if you
Sorry.
have to, it's not good. If
Sorry.
you Yeah, if you do it every once in a while, it's not a big deal to me. If you get home from the work and the first thing you do is open 2 beers right away, that's a
That's
different
how I read it, and
yeah,
that's where I think it's
then
a problem.
I picture you,
Um
like, white knuckling on the way home, that's not a good thing.
Patrick stumps in and goes in straight. He was like, "Stop, guys! I'll be right back," and goes straight for
Yep.
the guys, and it's like hugging them. Then he tells us the guys that Casey said that she wanted to see him, and when they got back, she texted him to say that he didn't want to. She didn't want to do the show, but she kept saying she wasn't ready to see him and wouldn't even call him. And
Yeah.
she told him to tell everyone that he should tell everyone that they'd broken up. And then he asked for the ring back. Doesn't the show pay for the ring? Why are you asking for the ring?
I don't know if the show does or not. Even if they do, it'd be like, "Okay, cool. You don't need it anymore." Like, I'll take it and pawn it. I'll sell it to somebody. I'll give it to the next girl I wanna marry or whatever. But, like, you don't get to keep it. You
Yeah.
you can't have this.
Well, that was her last straw. He didn't hear from her
Yeah,
again after she asked for the ring. She said like she's keeping it. So he
yeah.
says what hurts is that this all this happened.
She said, "You act like you're the only one hurting here. I'm keeping this ring because 'cause I'm hurting too. Like, get out of here."
He says what hurts is that this is hours after the reveal. Kate comes in and Madison takes her over. She meets Nick. You can tell Nick was so nervous.
Mhm.
Anna comes in, then Mike comes in, and Megan says that there is chemistry with her and Mike. I don't
Ugh,
know why.
I don't get that.
Then Brendan walks in. Annie says that Brendan is not giving the energy of, "Ooh, I love you so much," even though he said, "I love you so much," and she's happy with the choice that she made. I spied Edmund with a pick under his hat, but okay.
Mhm.
Brendan is still hurt. And Jordan says, like, yeah, I don't see y'all together. Jordan
Right?
was straight shooting. He was like, Annie and Nick, they fit so well. Brendan's like, no, I feel like it worked. Jordan's like, let it go, dude. I'm like, oh my
He's like,
God.
"Look, man, those are 2 sentient bags of trash, okay? You're fine. You're a good dude. You're not gonna like her for real." Like, that was kinda how that felt to me.
But also, we don't know if Brendan is a good dude, to be
We don't
honest.
know, but
We
the
don't.
the other guys seem to think he is, and the other guys all hate Nick.
I'm not gonna trust their judgment.
That's that's reasonable, quite frankly.
So Mike goes to Jordan and says, "Can I speak with Megan?" And he takes her away and is like, "You want to dance?" And she's like, no."
No.
These guys and their jokes that they think are so funny. So she tells him like, "Oh, Jordan was turned off by the sparkle thing, and I don't understand sharing things with your quote unquote ex. Like he don't need to
No.
know that." He's
No,
like,
for
"Oh,
what?
I did too, yada yada." And then Mike says that he wants to apologize for making her cry and saying, like, let's get out of that. He's gonna walk away from the process. And I'm like, oh, we're not apologizing for the type 1 diabetes, but we're
No.
apologizing for whatever this was that I didn't even remember. Mike is still Mike, and he's still doing that shit where he says something and then he's like, never mind, never mind, never mind.
Yep.
And he's like, did you get the emerald cut? And she's like, no, they didn't have any. He's like, I would have got you one. I looked for one. I got, why are you still trying to play mind games and get in her? Also, why is she entertaining it, honestly?
I don't know. I don't know because it's like at first it didn't seem like she was when she's like, "Do you want to dance?" No, like it seemed like she was gonna tell him, "Hey, man, like I'm not. I'm happy where I'm at. Cool. You were into me. We had a
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's over now. Like I'm set." Is where it kind of felt like it was gonna start, and then I'm just like, "You gotta just tell him to stop." Like
Yeah.
she's not responding. She's not flirting back with him. She's not like, "Ooh, would you have gotten me?" She's just like, okay, like all you have to do is tell him like it's time to stop, like it's time to
Mm-hmm.
quit. Jordan's my man. Like I'm past this. I'm no longer interested in talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was it. He says like he almost got into he was tempted to slide into her DMs and
Ugh,
say hello, and she's like, but he decided not to, and she's like, oh yeah, I appreciate
yeah,
it.
good. Like, yeah,
Don't do
yeah.
that. So
I think he genuinely thought he was gonna talk to her and have her go, man, you were right. This dude is he's not what I wanted. He's ugly. You're so much hotter than him. And when he didn't get that, he just kept on trying to get her to say something about it. And she's like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be like, ooh, I wish you would have slid into my DMs.
yeah.
this I don't think he's ever been in a position where he's like lost out on a girl before,
I,
and
I
specifically to
don't
a dude he thinks is less than him,
I don't know why. We need to do better. We need to let
right?
him lose a lot more
He
girls.
should just take all the L's.
All right. So then Anna and Patrick, he was like, "You were my number one. Like, if you were there, that I would have proposed to you." And she said, like, I was number one early on. She feels bad for leaving, but learning that he got engaged, she's like, he'll be okay. And she tells him, "How can you get engaged if I was your number one? And how can you say, like, if I was at the end that you would have chosen me?" And
I
I
was so
want to get
mad.
your take on this, because if he was also your number one, you wouldn't have left without a goodbye. But then you say you have
Right?
two number ones, but then you're mad. He might have had two number ones, and then he worked it out because I don't understand her being
I
mad.
was I was so mad at her because I was really hoping this was going to be her coming in and saying, "Look, I didn't want to leave. I had something on the outside I had to do, but like once I found out you were engaged, it hurt, and I kind of put that aside. But now that I realize it wasn't really working out with you two, like let's talk something." Instead,
Yeah.
she's like, "Well, how dare you, propose to somebody else?" He's like, "Because you left, like you left and didn't say anything. You were gone." He was basically like, I was going to propose to you and then you left and I had a choice to make. Do I just go home too now, or do I try to find another connection? I tried to find another connection, but like I wouldn't have done that if you were still there. Like I would have not talked to Casey if you were there. The only reason I did is because you left. And I'm just like, you don't get to come off and be like, how dare you do this to me after you left?
I think her point was, if I was your number one, okay. I think her thing is, when you have a number one, your number two is not a possibility. But that's incorrect.
Well, it's
In the
incorrect. Also, he no longer had a number one. I don't think Casey was a possibility while she was there.
So yeah, so I think she was just thinking, if I was really your number one, or if we were really meant to be, you would have left. I think maybe kind of the same way Blake was just like, she was my number one, she's not there anymore. There's nothing for me to do, and I'm gonna leave. But I think what was missed for me was, the angle should have been, if I was your number one and if you stayed, I would have proposed to you. Don't say that. Because then, if things had worked out with Casey, you're going to make Casey, we don't care how Casey feels now, but you make her feel bad. Like, was I just a consolation prize? Because if you're saying, if you
Yes,
were there,
you were. like, like I would have just said, yes, I did not like Casey the way that I liked you. You left, and I'm like, I'm here to find love. The only other connection I have was with Casey. I'm gonna try to explore that. I tried it. Oops, it blew up in my face. But like,
oops.
I would not have pursued her at all if you were still here. Like, it would be
Yeah.
very easy to say that. I don't know why he didn't, because that was clearly the case. Like, he
Yeah.
wasn't. I mean, come on.
Yeah. She did say that she cried for them when she left. And I think he was like, cried for who? He was like, she's like, you and Blake. So he said,
She fucked up.
anyways, I think you would have said no at the altar. And she was like, who knows? You would have. They
You would
couldn't
have.
get together.
You
They
would have.
couldn't have got
I
together.
I think he was right for her. I don't think that she was right for him. I think he thought that she was, because who she was in the pod is not who we saw at the mixer.
I think both of them are not right for each other. I said that the
I
first time. I
know.
just said,
I know
yeah.
you don't like him.
No, it's not even that. I just think both of them don't have, like, you can't, you can be understood doesn't mean you have to have a romantic relationships. For
Yeah,
one, they need to sort out everything. I don't know if they'll even be attracted to each other, and it's just too much to start sorting out in the confines of marriage.
that's
Like,
true.
so best friends, yeah, but it's a lot to bring in.
Yeah.
Okay, so KB and Edmund. Annie says that Nick is perfect, and Edmund is tripping out over the fact that Annie says that Nick is perfect. That's crazy. Oh my god, you must feel so good. I'm like, all she said was Nick is perfect, which is a weird compliment because nobody's perfect.
No.
KB comes by and she's like, "What happened? What'd you say? Did that happen?" And again, the theme of Dispatch was everybody pick a fight, yay! And she's
Yep.
like, it becomes a thing, and it's just so crazy how things escalate with this cast. So she's like, "Admire, don't compare." I'm like, someone
Yep.
drop a beat on that and make it a thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Admire, don't compare." Like, even if it's a joke, you're making it sound like I'm not doing enough. And he's like, "I know." Then he starts pouting again. Then he's like, "But I don't hear no positive stuff from you though." And she goes, Oh, and this is the place to bring it up. Like,
There
we
you
have been
go.
in the same house the whole time. You have not said anything. All of a sudden, we're here, and now you want to say like you don't hear positive stuff from me. But like she did
Mhm.
the last time, where she said, "Okay, since you like to compare, let's play that game." She matches his
Yep.
energy, and she's like, "You know what? Since we're talking about all the things you don't like, tell me more stuff. Tell me all of the things that you don't like." And all of a sudden, he doesn't want. He's like, "I don't want to do it here. You brought
Yep.
it up. Finish it."
Yep.
So he says like, she doesn't say anything nice, and she's like, didn't I just tell you that I appreciate you? Remember when I said, you guys remember that? Haven't I been cheering you on? Wasn't she there when he does all his stuff that some of us would consider weird? And she's like, you like it, I love it, I'm not here to change who you are, just do you, and I'll be there for you. She's been doing all that for him, and she honestly does not seem embarrassed by him. So that's enough in my book. So
Yeah.
she texts him, and then she's like, have a good night, because you're being weird.
Yeah.
And he goes after her and, say it with me, I love you, I really love
Nah.
you. And I'm glad she's like, stop it, I don't want to hear it,
Yep. I
don't
don't want to
tell
hear
me
it.
that.
And he kept on saying it. It's like, I don't want to hear that, but I love you. I don't want to hear it.
Then he
Ugh.
decides that he doesn't want to look at her. And then
Yeah.
she tells him, like, you need to be an adult and you need to have an adult conversation. And he keeps saying, but I love you though. I really do.
Yep.
And she's like, stop making it hard. I am trying to have a conversation with you. You are not answering my question. All you keep saying is, I love you. And he's like, okay, you might walk away. And she's like, I'm not going to walk away. Like, why are you saying that? And then she's like, why don't you walk away?
Yeah.
He's like, no, I said might.
Yeah. He was basically like, hey, you should walk away before I snap on you. And I'm like, I'm not
Is
going
is
anywhere. Why
that
don't
what
you
he
walk away?
is that what
Yeah.
he was
'Cause
saying?
that's the way I interpret it, because he said you might want to walk away.
No, he
Not,
said you might walk away.
oh, I heard it as you might want to walk away.
So, okay, I don't know. Either of us
If,
could
if,
be
if, you're,
wrong.
if you're right, then then I heard this wrong. And
So
if I'm right, then
the
you heard
way
this
I
wrong again.
interpreted it was, he was seeing her getting mad, and he was thinking that she might walk away from
Okay.
him, and he's already like scared, like, oh, don't leave me and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, you might walk away. She's like, I'm not walking away. So why are you saying like I'm gonna walk away? Because that would irritate me.
That
Don't
would
tell
irritate me
me
too.
what I'm
That would
gonna
bother
do,
me too.
because
And
you're
see,
trying to defense mechanism your way out of this fight instead of having a conversation like an adult. And then she's like, don't tell me I might walk away. You walk away if you think that I'm going to walk away. And he calls her bluff and walks away. I'm like, here is where
yeah.
you choose to. So
Like,
he walks away, and then he goes to the guys and he's like, I might die. I'm about to
what
die.
was
He
this?
was whining,
It was
whining,
insane. Like,
whining.
well, and right before this is when she came out of the bathroom. We were like, don't talk to me. Don't even look at me
No, no,
right now.
no. So
Like,
he does
was
that,
that after
and
that?
no, it was after that. So he does
Okay.
that, and then Jordan is like, no, 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 don't do that. Like, go back, take accountability, say you're sorry. He's like, I don't know. Then she stomps so angry past him, and he's like, it's too late. She goes to the bathroom because she wants to cry, and she probably doesn't want to be caught on camera. But Madison follows her to go check on her, and then she comes out of, okay, not yet, I'm gonna do that at the end, but she does come out of the bathroom, and then he's trying to talk to her, and she's like, do not come near me, like, don't. She's
Yep.
at her wits end, because I'm like, she has patience, but everyone has a threshold, and this was
Yep.
it. This was it. So the final fight, there was a lot of fights happening.
A lot of
Woof,
fights.
was Nick and Kate. So he apologizes to Kate, says he's never been in love with two people before. You still haven't. You were not in love with two people, but okay.
Nope.
Um, but that he didn't mean to. She's like, she feels like her emotions were taken advantage of. And he said that, specifically, he said that he could not get there with Annie. So she was surprised that they even got engaged. I'm like, roll the tape, guys. Come
Yep.
on. It's like,
Show me
we're
that.
now 9 episodes. Refresh our memories. Play it back.
Yep.
Bravo would have.
It
But,
would have in muted colors, so we know it's in the past.
yes. So Nick, you can tell, just wants this to disappear. He's just saying, sorry, I never would have. I wouldn't have done this. He said that he told her, and he did the classic man thing, like, I hope we can be friends. Why? Why would I want to be friends with you? So we learned that, correct me if I'm wrong, he told Anna a different story.
Yep. Sure
Oh
did.
no.
Sure
Oh
did.
no. Don't do
Uh-oh.
that on camera. So he comes back, and then he tells Anna, I want to see you ride the bull. And she's like, no. And I'm
Nope.
like, oh gosh. again, the guys are wrong. Everything is wrong. But when you're angry, you gotta open your mouth. You got, even if you have
Yes.
to say, "I am mad," like what KB did. I am mad at you now. I'm not here for your jokes. I'll tell you because we're in a public setting. But to just be like, no, give the cold
Mhm.
shoulder, and you have no idea what is happening. What are you going to do? So basically, she shuts down. He has no idea what is happening, what he has done. And then we have Joe Schmo, Mr. Inebriation himself, out there
Jeez.
just yapping. He's like,
Yep.
Brandon would have been better for Annie. Like, Nick only does missionary, and then he'll go skiing after that. Brandon would at least switch things up and going. I'm like, oh, my jaw was on the floor. And then Jordan was like, "You're not wrong, but shut the fuck up."
Right. Yeah, basically, Joe was like, "Yeah, I mean, uh, what can I say about Nick? I don't really fuck with him. I don't, I don't have nothing to say about that guy. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. I'd also say the same thing, but like, maybe not on camera,
I don't know if like this is where we get a confessional. We've been waiting all night for a confessional, and
right?
this is
You
where
know,
we
from
get
Drunk
Joe.
Joe.
And Joe is just like, I don't fuck with Nick. And, some may say he's a great guy, but he's not my guy. But this
Yeah.
guy's sauced again, which I think is the problem. That
Yep.
you can't keep getting drunk this many times. But also,
No.
why we need a confessional. Why do the guys not like Nick? We know why we don't like Nick, but
Yeah.
what is happening behind the scenes that they don't like Nick? What am I saying? Yeah, why don't they like Nick? And
Yeah.
if Joe doesn't like you, oof.
Well, and with Nick, we saw a little bit of that where we saw he and Mike were like super tight in the pods, and it really seemed like the way that I interpreted it, and maybe it's just because I'm, a self conscious dude. The way that they came across was like we are better than every other guy in here. These guys are not on our level. They are all beneath us. They are all, you know, we are the two like high quality males. Is how I'm sure they would describe themselves in this process. And like when you're around that kind of a guy, that energy is clear. You can feel it. And I'm wondering if they were just like, yeah, these guys are asses.
Do you think also like it goes back to what happened when Nick and Annie got together and Brandon was dumped when he came in and was like, "Oh,
Yep.
I'm in," and
That's
that
certainly
can't be the
part of it.
only thing. Do you think that?
No, but I think that's symptomatic of kind of how they are in general. Just
Okay,
like I could see those two being the two who are loudly bragging about how much their number ones love them, and knowing full well that there's also somebody else's connection in here.
yeah,
I could just see them being that way.
okay, okay. So there's that, and then Madison says multiple people don't like Nick,
Yeah.
and Kate says, "Yeah, a lot of people think he's calculated." Again,
Yeah. It's like
guys,
nobody likes Nick,
give us this backstory. I hope
right?
they ask this in the reunion. So Madison starts bragging once again about the physical, and she's telling Kate and how he said, "I want to get you pregnant." And then Kate is
My
like,
God.
"That's so hot. How old are these women? Why is that hot?"
I mean, I don't think I've never said that before in bed. I think it's one of those things where it's kind of like maybe it's hot because it shows how like dedicated he is to you, or maybe it's hot because that's not the kind of thing everyone just like says. So you must be really lost in the sauce in that moment to blurt out something
Um,
like that.
no, it's things that men say. It has been
Ugh,
said to me. It's just I was younger. It's things younger people say. That's why I'm like, how old are they? Because they feel it's like some I love you so much that I don't mind you being the mother of my child, and that is supposed to be some compliment, but
good
we are
lord, I have
older.
never.
We are older, we are wiser. It should never like that's hot is so far from whatever that is that
Yeah,
again, Madison, you are bragging about someone who's taking more shots and being an asshole over at the bar, okay?
right. Yeah, it's not
So
great.
Anton asked Allie, like, hey, I'm keeping this on the low, but everyone has been asking me what's going on. And
Hmm.
I've just been saying, we're good, we're good. What have you been saying? And she's like, the truth.
No,
Okay, 60 minutes. What is
right.
the truth? And why are you telling everybody except him?
So
So,
you told me you just walked up and say, "Hey guys, the truth." No, what words are you saying to them? Like, I want to know what you're telling people.
I mean, I want to believe that they've probably had a conversation, but to us, they still haven't talked about it. But they
Yeah,
had to have had a
they had to
conversation
have. Yep.
because that would be insane.
Mm.
So, anyways, Patrick is there, pointing at Jordan and Megan, and like, if anyone's gonna make it all the way, it's gonna be these two motherfuckers. You know, I have my thoughts about Patrick, but Patrick is also I added something else to the list. He's an eager person. I don't like when people are so eager, and you can tell his energy is just I would have fit in here, and he just says he's so. Uh,
Yeah.
okay,
He's a
I'm a
bro.
Leo. I'm a
He's a
Leo,
big time
Patrick.
bro. I mean, I often tell my wife, "Oh, this person has the energy that rubs you the wrong way," and that's shorthand in our house. It's like there's a certain kind of energy. She's like, "No, I don't fucking like that person. Like, don't get him around me." That is how Patrick feels to me.
I can never get Patrick on the podcast with all this shit I've talked.
I, no, probably not. I love him. Hey, if he wants to come on mine, I'll make space.
All right.
We'll talk
I mean,
about that.
that's all I got for these people.
Yeah,
That was it. I think we're gonna start having the weddings. I couldn't make out who was crying in their wedding dress, but that's gonna be a no for them. So we'll see.
yeah, yeah.
We'll see. All
Mm.
right, Brian. It's been a pleasure. Can you share with people where they can find you?
Yep. You can find me at Maths Virgin. We are just finishing up season 10 of Maths right now. We recorded the reunion episode today. That's going to drop next week, but we are going to be ready to go right when the next season starts up. So we somehow double Dutch timed this properly, and we're going to end one right before the next one starts. You can join our Facebook group, the Maths Virgin Fan Club. Follow us on Instagram and Threads at Maths Virgin.
You know where to find me, guys. You can find me on all of the socials, Alto Call MAFS. Please give me a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stay subscribed so you never miss out on any new episodes. And until next time, when we are back with the next batch of episodes, talk to you then. Bye, guys.